He finally woke up. It seemed like the elders had to help him with this matter. As soon as he woke up, he immediately thought of his close friend. The terrible scene that day still appeared in his dreams. Suddenly waking up from the dream, his body was now wet with sweat. In fear, he touched the terrible car mark on his forehead. Doyen Lee's two closest friends also heard that he had regained consciousness. While they were talking about it, then Doyen Lee appeared and told us to gather all the brothers in school. But now only these two come. One guy said that because there were so many troubles happening continuously, the other guys didn't show up, and even I was beaten by DAJUN. Doyen Lee then mocked us. How can you let an idiot beat you and still have the face to go to school? Actually, we are already quite sneaky, because HANGIL's family is not a group of thugs in school like us. It can cope. They advised Doyen Lee that it's best to try to hold back a bit. But this is almost impossible for a guy who is used to the Han Hong habit. Moreover, he also suffered quite serious injuries, so he could not swallow this anger. In a fit of anger, Doyen Lee got into a fight with his friends and didn't expect that with just a swipe of his hand. But he fell on the ground. Two friends expressed bad feelings towards Doyen Lee's bad leg, making him feel very humiliated, and thought that this was the reason why the others didn't come. When he was in the hospital, no one came to visit. They were just a bunch of porridge eaters. After saying that, Doyen Lee left, and decided to handle DAJUN alone. After school, DAJUN appeared at NAUN's school gate. Because it was forecast to rain today, the boss asked him to bring an umbrella to NAUN. When she wondered why HANGIL's eldest brother was there, the boss of HANGIL's smiled brightly and replied, "It's because he wanted to come and eat free pizza." Hee. Even though NAUN complains that there are no customers these days, don't be so obvious. HANGIL still has the audacity to ask for a debt book. What will you have to pay later? The name Doyen Lee is dressed to the nines, following DAJUN. He heard his friends say that after the accident, DAJUN was expelled from school and moved to live near NAUN's school. Because he knew the school boss before, Doyen Lee thought he just needed a phone call. But right after that, my friend told me that the school boss was also executed by DAJUN. He couldn't believe his ears, so he continued calling the school boss, but he didn't pick up. Unable to find any help, Doyen Lee desperately followed, with the hope that we can find an opportunity to attack DAJUN. While returning to the pizza shop, he saw a group of thugs causing trouble on the street. Because it was my home area, HANGIL immediately wanted to manage this matter. A guy who didn't know whether to live or die rushed over and glared at him to show off. Right after that, we were immediately beaten to death on the spot. Before Doyen Lee's horrified eyes. He no longer recognized the DAJUN of the past when I sold him his seeds. The two thugs regained their senses after being punched a few times. Realized looks like this is HANGIL. They immediately fled and ran for their lives. It's like seeing a ghost. It turns out we had just beaten a certain uncle. Seeing that he was seriously injured, NAUN approached and asked. HANGIL kindly reminded, this area is extremely complicated. It's best that you don't get involved in gossip. This uncle said it wasn't this guy, she wanted to find him to cause trouble. Because just now we saw his ID card and then took action. The uncle is quite sure that someone hired us to beat him. After listening to what the uncle said, HANGIL was extremely skeptical. Could it be that the HEA KWANG guys have returned, because that is exactly how they work. Doyen Lee at this time, he still followed awkwardly. He despaired when he realized he could no longer take revenge. He trembled when he thought about it. Could it be that I'm afraid of that bitch? While he was still stunned, someone came forward and patted Doyen Lee's shoulder. It turns out there's some second-rate thugs living in this neighborhood. This guy immediately slapped Doyen Lee and wanted to steal his money. Having been the big brother of the school, has Doyen Lee ever had to suffer this kind of frustration? He immediately attacked this guy. The delicious green bean ice cream he was eating flew away, making this guy angry. He and his accomplice rushed forward to beat Doyen Lee until his bones were soft. Can't bear it anymore. Doyen Lee finally had to ask for forgiveness. These guys enjoyed forcing him to lick all the green bean ice cream with his bare feet before letting him go. Doyen Lee immediately remembered how he used to bully DAJUN like that in the past. Then suddenly Doyen Lee felt it. It seemed like someone had come and taken out these thugs. Turned out to be HANGIL, with DAJUN. Doyen Lee would never have expected it. I was saved by DAJUN like that. Before, when he was a child, Doyen Lee had a rather plump body. When you are about to enjoy green bean ice cream on the road. Therefore, he is often ridiculed and bullied by his friends. Every day he silently suffered the humiliation of his friends, until he learned to use his fists. Then he realized that it was time to look down on these trash. Thenceforward, he didn't want anyone to disrespect him again. Let me help you up. Give me your hand. These words of DAJUN made Doyen Lee feel ashamed of his previous actions. He just wanted to quietly slip away. But suddenly his leg couldn't move. I beg you, please hurry up for me. He secretly thought so. When DAJUN stepped forward to help. Then it suddenly started to rain. When I turned around, the strange person had already left. Walking alone in the cold rain, Doyen Lee initially compromised with himself. Just keep it like that for now and later we'll call someone to kill it. At this moment, an umbrella arrived. I see your body is not very healthy. Or you can take this umbrella. This voice made Doyen Lee dumbfounded. He trembled and threw out the umbrella and said, I beg you, please go away now. Although this voice was quite small and was drowned out by the sound of the rain. But DAJUN's instincts told him that it was a voice that gave people goosebumps. It seemed to have touched some part of DAJUN's memory. Therefore, he does not want to immerse himself in this tragedy anymore. Doyen Lee took his ruined body out into the rain. I kept thinking about myself and yet I was saved by stupid DAJUN. Then he suddenly fell face down on the overpass. Realizing I may have to live like this for the rest of my life. Ridiculed by everyone. Along with pitying eyes. He was in despair because he lost his Adidas sandals. If only I could fall asleep again like last time. Currently staying at home. DAJUN had his HANGIL family officially celebrate his graduation from the fighting course. With extremely excellent achievements. Along with the graduation gift was an old jacket. Of the boss of HANGILs, everyone was extremely touched by this moment. And take souvenir photos together. Congratulations, DAJUN has officially become a person at the bottom of society. HANGIL's family declares it's time to help DAJUN take revenge. And promise to go with him to school, although only involved when DAJUN needed help. Just pay off this debt. Then he will start a completely new life. Back to Doyen Lee. At this time, he decided to jump off the bridge to look for his branded sandals. Then suddenly the phone rang. Open it and see. It was NAUN's school boss calling. He said he knew Doyen Lee woke up. This is why I called you. Like catching a blade of grass to save his life, this school boss promised to solve this case for Doyen Lee. Hearing that, Doyen Lee was a bit hesitant because he knew that DAJUN had defeated that whole school. The school boss smirked and showed off. Those kids in high schools are so old that they want to be on par with each other. That is the HEA KWANG organization. This guy has followed this organization since being defeated by DAJUN, and is on a mission to torture people. Right at this moment, he said that as long as you give us your name, we will use force against anyone you ask. Turns out he just wanted a business deal, so this guy called Doyen Lee. They can do anything, including threatening to kidnap, just give them your name and that's it. The school boss is saying he can use money to use violence against DAJUN. Was interrupted by Doyen Lee, don't use violence but. A bolt of lightning flashed, and in Doyen Lee's head suddenly an extremely terrible thought flashed. If I want to live, I have to kill it. I joined an extremely terrible organization. In this neighborhood, these thugs seem to be chasing someone. A young man wearing a red hat, carrying a large bag in his hand. Running like hell on the street like being chased by a ghost. DAJUN is currently wandering on the street. He has finished the course with the boss of HANGILs, so he is quite free. HEA KWANG guys are back, so HANGIL reminded the family members. We need to pay close attention, and if they dare to make a mess, we will show them how to be polite. DAJUN is determined to protect everyone including the pizza shop owner along with NAUN. When entering, DAJUN was extremely surprised to see the boss. But the boss secretly said that I didn't need to know. DAJUN still tried to question this, but the boss was so confused that he had to come up with an excuse. It was because he fell that he got injured. Haha. Seeing that the boss didn't want to talk, DAJUN didn't feel comfortable asking anymore. When I was about to go inside to change clothes, I was surprised to see NAUN holding a teenager's waist helping him put on an apron. NAUN said, "This is the new employee who will work for us while Dad is injured," and even praised him for being handsome. This boy's name is Song Ho and is only 1 year younger than DAJUN. Very enthusiastic to shake hands with DAJUN to get acquainted. DAJUN must have been jealous, looking at that friendly face. Reluctantly became Song Ho's instructor. And what this guy did was exactly the same as when DAJUN first started working. He accidentally spilled the glass of water and DAJUN quickly took care of it. While he was cheering, he thought, I am very professional in Naun's eyes. But no. She just turned to encourage the new employee. It's true that life is not like a dream. Ha! Song Ho pulled out a pack of cigarettes and offered it to DAJUN, but he didn't know how to smoke. They could only pretend to hold their fingers together to show off. The two went to the back of the store to sit and talk. Song Ho is also a person who knows how to talk, a lot of compliments, making our DAJUN less hostile to Italy. He inquired and was told. It turned out that this younger brother was planning to run away from home, so he wanted to make some money, whether at home or at school, and he encountered a lot of problems. Seeing that this younger brother was in the same situation as him, DAJUN immediately felt ashamed of his feelings of jealousy before, for fear that this younger brother would become closer to Naun. Is a streetwalker at the bottom of society with a degree. DAJUN immediately shared about the difficulties and dangers of living outside this society. When his younger brother heard that, his face turned pale. DAJUN showed that he was a reputable senior and said, although it doesn't help much. But if you have any questions about bushwalking, just ask me. After that, he pretended to smoke very professionally, blowing out a breath only to realize he was holding the cigarette upside down. Tomorrow. Boss, Naun, DAJUN. I had to open my eyes when I saw that this guy knew how to spin a wheel. The plates were also washed extremely clean. The girls who came to eat pizza kept their eyes blinking and their mouths opened. They asked for his number. There are more female customers coming to the store. This makes the shop owner extremely satisfied with this new employee. Even though DAJUN already seemed very bitter, DAJUN still told himself that he was the senior, he shouldn't be jealous of his younger brother. However, when he saw Naun, XO rubbed his head quite friendly and praised this junior. There are no more seniors or juniors. DAJUN rushed straight to the back of the store in front of everyone's surprise. Turns out he felt it was unfair. What's wrong with the fact that he had to study for a long time to do it, but that kid only learned it in 1 day? What if Naun likes that kid's name? While he was still stunned, suddenly someone tapped his shoulder and DAJUN turned around. Seeing that it was a strange young man, this person was extremely hurried and asked DAJUN to let him escape. He was the person holding the bag who was chased in the neighborhood earlier. DAJUN was kind enough to take this young man to a place where he often dumped trash, so he was very lucky to escape. This young man expressed his thanks. And when printed DAJUN asked why he was being chased. This guy said he was being followed by a very dangerous organization that normal people like DAJUN could never know about. Hearing that it was a DAJUN organization, I immediately thought of the HEA KWANG gathering. This young man suddenly mentioned the name CHO HANGIL and proudly said, he was the one who participated in handling the name Chun Kiwoong. And more than 100 juniors. This song is so boring for this young man. Is bragging with a member of CHO HANGIL's family. Suddenly, 3 thugs appeared and found this young man. Then I immediately took the opportunity to beat him up. One guy asked DAJUN if he knew this person. He said he didn't know him and then asked, are you guys HEA KWANG? After being confirmed by this guy, he immediately turned on all his weapons. DAJUN stabbed this guy straight in the face. These guys don't understand why. At this point, DAJUN reminded the young man, in the future, don't spread our names around like that. One guy realized that DAJUN was the idiot. Chewed Chun Kiwoong's leg. Seeing that this guy was CHO HANGIL's genuine goods, he immediately turned around and tried to retreat. But the accomplice said that this guy is the most beloved person in CHO HANGIL's. And if that day there was no CHO HANGIL, then these guys have evaporated. So don't be afraid. While still happily crowing with his friends, this guy immediately received a punch from DAJUN. Then lie still in your resting place. If you touch my family, I have the right to kill you. DAJUN the crow is really evil now, isn't it, brothers? The remaining 2 guys saw their comrades being defeated and immediately rushed over. But it's really too immature for DAJUN. He just needs to simply walk a few streets. That made us ask for forgiveness. The Red Hat finds this guy extremely powerful. Maybe it's the real CHO Hangils. Immediately slipped away quietly because he was old enough to make fake goods. DAJUN stopped and said doubtfully, if you were pretending to be for Hangils then it would be HEA KWANG who should be running. Then he rolled his eyes and pressed the bow and arrow. B forced him to reveal the truth. This young man seems to be in trouble, and says he is a member of HEA KWANG. However, seeing DAJUN immediately raise his fist, he quickly said that now I have been betrayed by them. Turns out after that name Chun Ki-woong disappeared. Collect protection money from stores like before. But switched to accepting mercenary commissions. Instead, they switched to accepting mercenary orders using violence and threats. Kidnapping, no matter the trick, as long as you have money, that's all. And the reason why this young man was left out by the HEA KWANG. It's because of this man. DAJUN realized that this was the uncle he had rescued on the street the other day. This young man was also extremely surprised because DAJUN knew this person. And after hearing about his uncle being beaten, this young man seemed angry and said, this man is the representative of the People's Council of this area and is also Ta's father. Before, this man always forced him to study. Because he was so depressed, he finally ran away from home and joined HEA KWANG. At first, he felt quite satisfied, just going out and making a cool face and then walking around was okay. However, when he saw our barbaric actions, this young man's young bird immediately trembled in fear. Just as he was about to withdraw from the group, he received a message from the organization, asking his group to deal with this person. It seems like the organization knows his identity, so they asked to do so. The young man was extremely reluctant and had to steal money from the person who asked to deal with his father, then immediately ran away. So there was a chase. Then he was in almost the same situation as DAJUN. I don't want anything to do with my father anymore. However, DAJUN saw that his expression was completely opposite. At this time, DAJUN brought CHO Hangil's lesson on love in the family and teached it to this young man. This young man looked like he was getting the right girl and said, his father doesn't care about him at all. But that's not necessarily the case. The day before, he was beaten, but this uncle still tried to ask for news about his homeless son. Even though it was a photo of this young man when he was in school, DAJUN was quite sure that it was him. Ta. And it seems like he still wants to find his son. If you encounter him, please help me convey the error to him. The young man burst into tears when he heard DAJUN say this. It seemed like Dad still loved him. But now Ta can no longer return home to his father, because he is currently being chased by the authorities. With his honest nature, DAJUN offered to help this young man. Even though he thought that his situation was much better than his, he even invited this young man to eat pizza. Causing him to be moved to tears, thinking to himself that this guy is really good, and thinking that CHO Hangil's fam are as good as angels. DAJUN immediately nodded and agreed that it was good. Except when fighting. At this time, in a place that seems to be HEA KWANG's lair, Big Brother Chun Ki-woong, long time no see, is angry and punching his juniors boom boom. Because I thought I was despised after that loss. While venting his anger on his brothers, Chun Ki-woong suddenly got hit by a guy with curly hair. Looks pretty cold-blooded. This person is another big brother of HEA KWANG named Bae Gangrak. Chun Ki-woong is extremely dissatisfied and screaming about being kicked out of HEA KWANG after losing to CHO Hangil. This big guy with curly hair is the one who previously reminded Chun Ki-woong not to conflict with CHO Hangils, but this guy refused to listen. That's why he lost a lot of money to the organization, even though he was warned, but this guy Chun Ki-woong still has a big mouth and won't let go. Screaming, you guys have had your fill of blood and now you want to turn around and chase me away. Is that true or not? Immediately received a powerful punch from the big brother with curly hair. Take advantage of a good night's sleep. While ordering the Green Juniors to deal with it, another big brother of HEA KWANG appeared. His name is Han Yun Min and he seems quite polite on the outside. He reminded the big brother with curly hair in a bun to be careful. He reminded the big brother with curly hair in a bun to be careful or he would be tracked down by the HANGIL FAM. Curly hair in a bun just smirked and said, are you sneaky or what? You're the one who agreed to eliminate the HANGIL FAM. Han Yun-min revealed that the organization received a request to destroy DAJUN from a high school student. He was extremely confused about why curly hair in a bun was so taboo to the HANGIL FAM. This guy just smirked and said, "Didn't you witness Chun Ki-woong being taken down? And in fact, is destroying HANGIL FAM really beneficial for us? Or will it benefit our opponents?" When seeing Han Yun-min looking uneasy, her curly hair was immediately revealed. Was to send a spy to approach HANGIL FAM. And can destroy him whenever he wants. Currently at the pizza shop, DAJUN organized a small meeting. Inhwan advised Song Ho not to go bush. Because it will suffer like a dog. In this whole area, only Cho Hangils is trustworthy. The other thugs are just a bunch of trash. And if you're determined to leave home and go to Inhwan, why would you advise this guy to join HEA KWANG? Because he thinks that if he wants to survive in society, he has to do things he doesn't like. There is no other more reasonable place besides HEA KWANG. This boy hesitated and asked if there was any other way. The two seniors immediately wanted to know the reason why he left home. This guy immediately told me that before I had an accident and died, my family used to be a very harmonious family. Even though my father was completely devastated, he always tried to give me a happy life. But then he remarried, and his stepmother was also quite good. But since his sister was born, he has been like an extra person in the family. Stepmother always finds a way to share between father and son. Seeing his father happy with his family, he did not want to blame his stepmother. So I had the intention of leaving home. When they saw that their younger brother was extremely miserable, the consulting team immediately got to work. DAJUN advised him not to leave his family, not to think about his father or himself first. Inhwan expressed that if the younger brother is too secretive, then go stay with him because he just stole a bunch of money. This younger brother was extremely touched by the heart of his two seniors. The conversation immediately turned to Inhwan's problem, which also gave him a headache and he didn't know how to handle it. DAJUN is wondering whether to ask other members of the HANGIL FAM family to handle this problem or not. Then this brother immediately suggested, how about we find someone to entrust the handling of Inhwan's father and force this person to cancel the request. This method seems reasonable because Inhwan said he knew the name of the trustee after robbing the bag. Then all three left. Inhwan also thanks DAJUN very much for enthusiastically helping me. His sympathy made DAJUN decide to help these two people, because they think they are all good people. The three of them had a conversation that could be said to be quite fun. However, it is certain that one of these two men is a spy planted by the big brother with curly hair. Every name looks really suspicious. Even though he had received DAJUN's trust, the bun-haired big brother was still in no hurry. But once this spy has completely gained trust, we will immediately complete the customer's request. Returning to DAJUN's house, he told the story of saving Inhwan, and wanted to ask Cho Hangil's family members to save this guy's father. The red hair showed obvious discomfort. Because according to him we are not messengers of righteousness. Although the HANGIL FAM family often helps shopkeepers in difficulty in this area, the street people do not. Is different. The bushy-haired girl said that after DAJUN left home, he immediately joined the HANGIL FAM family, so you don't know how dangerous these street gangs are. Although DAJUN said that that guy had just been in the bush not long ago, he still seemed like a good person. Then the old man of the HANGIL FAM family has an extremely certain bridge, the only people you can trust are us. So the HANGIL FAM family doesn't seem to want to get involved in this matter. But our DAJUN seems to want to take care of it. Sure enough, the next day according to the old plan, these three people were lurking about the name of the mission entruster. This bald old man is also a representative of the People's Council, his face doesn't look like something good. He walked inside a bar in front of the surprised eyes of three people. Even though he's not old enough to enter a bar, he's still a semi-professional trader. So Inhwan has a fake ID ready. All three went inside and booked a room to sit as adults. After successfully getting inside, the three of them immediately went to find out where the bald man's room was. As expected, this bald-headed People's Council representative is truly unkind. I will buy all the alcohol in this shop today. This guy actually called at once for Ms. Dao to sit down and drink together for fun. These girls turned pale when they saw this guy coming. Because every time he came, he would call the girls out and force them to drink until they were drunk. The girls would coyly invite them to drink while joking with him, Why does the people's representative have so much money? Is this really something that needs to be asked? The bald man was happily drinking when he discovered a girl who refused to drink as he wanted. The girl sitting next to him said that he was the one who had just received the guests and was still drunk. The bald-headed People's Council delegate didn't care and suddenly slapped this girl. He screamed, "As for this slut, I told you not to leave any leftovers. How dare you disrespect the People's Council representative?" He went crazy and chased all of you out. And immediately demanded that the boss be called. Take advantage of the time when he was alone in the room. All three entered and asked him to cancel the request. If not, the evidence will be released to the public immediately. This bald old man has a bit of alcohol in him to the point where he's quite embarrassed and doesn't care about these three brats and asks, "Who are you guys?" Also saying Inhwan's father is an idiot. How could he think of this? Inhwan heard this bald man cursing at his father. Then he got angry and rushed to grab his neck. At this moment, suddenly, the bar's security team came in. When the bald man saw the shop owner enter, he was extremely pleased and shouted, "If you don't deal with these bastards, I won't come here anymore." Because they were professional streetwalkers, these two people saw the bar's bouncers coming. Then he immediately turned around, his face pale. "I thought these guys were bratty kids, so I thought these guys wanted to scare me a bit. However, since our DAJUN has a new superior martial arts skill," quite aggressively threw a punch right into the big brother's face. Before the surprised eyes of the crowd. "It's extremely responsible to tell you two guys to stand behind me." The security guards now received news that these kids had used fake IDs to get in here. The security guards were worried that they would receive news that these kids had used fake IDs to get in here. The big brother was quite angry. It seemed like he wanted to beat these brats right away. This boss is the manager at the bar. On a normal day, treating the staff in the shop is quite tricky, and often take extremely harsh actions against underage minors who dare to enter here. I don't know why, but this guy hates minors so much that he can only kill them. So when DAJUN, a minor, hit him like that, the big brother immediately sent two juniors to deal with it. With one of his great skills, DAJUN did not flinch even 1-on-2. I have learned too much about this lesson. Continuously threw precise punches, killing the gangsters. And his friends were amazed. But they didn't care at all. This guy was suddenly stepped on by DAJUN. According to the script, it would be a hook punch. But the very cool big brother appeared and threw a kick. Kicking DAJUN, he flew away and fell onto the table, causing the wine and fruit to scatter. Followed immediately after that, is an extremely powerful heel strike from big brother off, causing DAJUN's hands to become numb. A subordinate immediately moved to control DAJUN. Smashed the wine bottle against the wall. The big brother immediately decided to let DAJUN go see naked cocks today. In this situation, hanging by a thread, a bottle of wine accurately hit the big brother's hand. Another powerful punch hit the junior who was controlling DAJUN. Song Ho trembled and stood in front of DAJUN. He thought that DAJUN always helped him, so he would help back. Inhwan seeing this, he also moved forward. Even though I don't know how to fight. This time the situation was different, because at least there were more troops. DAJUN no longer had to carry the team alone. He sent these two people to deal with one guy. And I eliminated the remaining two guys. Round 2 is now starting. DAJUN realized that these adult thugs were really tough to deal with. However, these guys are quite disrespectful. When I was just a teenager, DAJUN took advantage of this opportunity. Hooked an extremely powerful blow into his junior's jaw, causing him to immediately take a nap at his big brother's feet. That's the reason why this boss hates teenagers so much, because DAJUN is very similar to them. Perhaps what they mean here is HEA KWANG. One hand caught DAJUN's punch, followed by a punch to the stomach. This big brother is really extremely difficult to deal with. Because this guy was no longer strong, aiming for his chin was almost impossible. DAJUN was continuously hit. When he was about to use his foot stomping technique, then I was immediately caught by this big guy. DAJUN will have to face a direct punch from the sky for a situation that hangs by a thread. A useful lesson from boss HANGIL FAM. Flashed in my head. A punch with the middle finger sticking out extremely quickly. Extremely strong, hitting right in the sternum. The big brother immediately fell to his knees and drooled profusely. Damn it, how does he even know live shot? Note for those of you who don't know what a live shot is like me, when this is a common word for punches or kicks that hit the lower arm or liver. This is considered an easy to attack and extremely dangerous area in martial arts. DAJUN has also tried this move. Looking at his expression like that, I know it's extremely painful. Have any of you guys tried this move? The big brother was then repeatedly punched by DAJUN until he was shaken up and immediately collapsed on the spot. This guy is also living a terrible street life, uncle. DAJUN shared friendly. When I turned around, I saw that the junior had already been dealt with. Inhwan stared. Song Ho just threw a few punches. Caused this junior to collapse on the spot. According to DAJUN, this younger brother has a terrible ability to learn. He can do it right away after seeing it once. After that, 3 people immediately gathered to coerce the bald old man. The big brother woke up and was extremely upset at being bullied like that by a juvenile. It turns out this guy has been abused many times before by HEA KWANG, a gang of minors. That's why he hates them so much. Picked up the glass bottle from earlier and immediately rushed over. A quick punch from the boss made all 3 people unable to prepare in time. Mr. Song Ho. Yet, he used his body to block DAJUN from an extremely dangerous blow. DAJUN extremely blamed himself for not properly handling this big brother. Discovering blood on DAJUN's hand, he turned to look. It seems like this guy is not doing very well. This glass bottle is stuck straight into his back. This leaves DAJUN with. Inhwan was extremely scared. DAJUN quickly told Inhwan to take this boy to the hospital immediately. I'll stay with this bald guy. In order to complete the work, if not diligent, Ho's injury would be useless. This bald old man is still trying to get old. Then he was immediately beaten by DAJUN. He was angry because Song Ho was injured. Uncle. This guy has been putting up with you for a long time. If you're smart, tell me why you asked them to beat Inhwan's father. Hurry up. A few hours later at the hospital, fortunately Song Ho was unharmed. The wound did not hit a dangerous spot. DAJUN blamed himself and asked, why did you risk your life like that? This guy only replied that he rushed forward because of his reflexes. He said, you don't need to feel guilty. Didn't you say that anything can happen in the bush? And unfortunately I can't continue participating in this case. I have to wait until I recover. The 2 seniors encouraged Song Ho then left. DAJUN was worried about the hospital fee but Inhwan paid it. With the money he stole, intending to use it to rent a house. Inhwan now came to ask about the bald man's business. It turns out Inhwan's father discovered this bald guy snitching on the treasurer of the council committee. No wonder he has money to go to bars and invite girls to drink like that. So he hired HEA KWANG to warn Inhwan's father not to interfere in this matter. When you know the reason, immediately request this bald man to leave. Cancel the request immediately. The bald man shows difficulty in this matter. Our DAJUN brother only left one sentence, if you don't cancel, I will smash your face. And so DAJUN thinks we have to go there too. Because we don't know what he will say, maybe he will incite the HEA KWANG to target us. Even though DAJUN had evidence of this bald man's embezzlement, he still wanted to see it with his own eyes. Even though Inhwan had evidence of this bald man's embezzlement, he still wanted to see it with his own eyes. Inhwan saw that Song Ho was injured because of his incident and did not want DAJUN to continue participating in this case anymore. However, DAJUN is such a kind person that he insisted on interjecting and saying, I don't have a reason, that's why I'm helping like this. It turns out that the eldest brother of the HANGIL FAM family is insecure about the innocent youngest brother. So I always followed and observed what DAJUN did. The next day, we were at the bar that the bald man visited the other day. Big brother Han Yang-min appeared. Must have walked into a room where 3 shop bouncers were beaten by the DAJUN group the day before. Dragging around inside, it seemed like they were being held captive. This big brother came to check on the injuries of his subordinates. There were no fatal injuries at all. It seems like Shut Up DAJUN has taken revenge. The person on the other end of the phone is the boss with curly hair. He is digging a huge hole. I don't know if he is planning to plant potatoes or cassava. At the same time, the bald man led DAJUN and Inhwan to the rendezvous with the HEA KWANGs. I don't understand why it led me to such a remote place like this. Inhwan immediately grabbed the bald man's neck and questioned. This old man said it was because the other side requested it for safety reasons and reminded Inhwan to destroy the evidence after the job was done. This boy angrily said, "You should be grateful that I was patient and didn't hit you until now." After that, the three continued on their way. Inhwan kept reminding this bald man, "If he dares to do something wrong, the evidence will immediately come online." The bald old man shared, "I really don't want to see that guy again." DAJUN wondered who the guy was. The three of them had arrived. The HEA KWANGs were already here and were grilling potatoes. The HEA KWANG guys were here right now and were baking potatoes, all sweating. While DAJUN and Inhwan hid behind a nearby bush to watch. Two guys observed that HEA KWANG here has about 5 people. This number of juniors should be suitable for our DAJUN. At this moment, the big guy with his hair in a bun appeared, and dragged his potato shovel along. When DAJUN saw this boss, his thoughts of defeating the HEA KWANGs here with his fists immediately disappeared. He looked huge, like a giant beast. Because he was busy digging potatoes, he arrived a little late. He could have sent his subordinates to do this, but he showed up personally. Because he thought the person who asked this time was really cute. This boss's friendly expression towards customers made the bald man's butt sweat. The bald old man told this boss that he wanted to cancel the request because he thought that such a warning was crazy enough. The big brother immediately agreed and asked the bald man to still pay the remaining amount. Although he regretted his name, he was afraid that the school would continue to be exposed, so he had to agree. Big brother with his curly hair tied in a bun said, "Does anyone else know if the story about your embezzlement is true or not?" The bald old man was very surprised and thought that this name was trying to threaten him. Threat? That also depends on his attitude. Curly hair in a bun said, "Threat? It depends on your attitude. I want to make a deal with you." It turned out that this guy wanted a portion of the money that the bald old man periodically exchanged, which would be protected by them. But the bald old man said that someone else already knew about this, so there was no way he could guard it anymore. Curly hair in a bun told him to rest assured. Because from now on, everyone besides us who knows about this will disappear without a trace. Including the other delegate, along with the 2 guys who are using those documents to threaten him. DAJUN is with Inhwan. Was immediately surrounded by his juniors. They seem to have known this in advance. Because of one of these 2 people, who will be the spy? The big brother ordered his juniors to bring the other 2 names to him. Facing motorbikes and being attacked from all sides, DAJUN is quite difficult to manage. While Inhwan collapsed immediately picking up a stone, DAJUN used a Dafa brick throwing move. Lean Hot immediately received a motorbike. Then he immediately picked up an iron stick and rushed towards it. A super swinging wheel is so smooth. After that, he continuously unleashed several function retreating kicks. Make a salad for these juniors. Next, DAJUN immediately rushed towards the bald man with the intention of taking him hostage. To threaten to escape this tiger's den. Suddenly, Big Brother's potato shovel flew over. He slowly approached. "Are you DAJUN or not? I'm very impressed with you. If I leave it to the juniors to handle it, it will be a waste of time. So I will take action directly." DAJUN felt a huge pressure because he felt that this big brother was very strong. "You have to be alert, otherwise you might die here today." Big brother with bun hair suddenly rushed forward. And with just one punch, DAJUN was immediately punched and sent flying straight to the tree. And the arm seems to have been disabled as well. The next blow fell, although he dodged it in time. However, DAJUN was still hit in the leg, and it looked like it had a broken bone. Big brother's curly hair was tied into a bun, then DAJUN grabbed DAJUN's hair and dragged him away. He mumbled about the unforgivable things HANGIL FAM had done, and wanted to show DAJUN their baked potatoes. In retaliation for the Chun Ki-woong incident. In this situation, hanging by a thread, Naun suddenly appeared in his mind. It was different when a girl came in. DAJUN reached in and picked up a handful of fire, threw it right in the boss's face and shouted, "I must inherit the pizza shop." Rushed straight to pull out the shovel and turned it back. "Brace your curly hair into a bun." He actually used his hand to block the tip of the shovel. After that, I twisted the shovel with my bare hands. It was really virtual. A powerful punch caused DAJUN to immediately collapse. Causing our DAJUN to immediately collapse. So cool. Curly hair said he wanted to kill DAJUN, but you should join the HEA KWANG. He wanted to give DAJUN a chance. And there is no way to accept a down. The big brother ordered his juniors to drag out the karaoke bar manager, and threw the shovel over. Asked DAJUN to prove it by burying this guy. To join the criminal's enemy ship. Did he convince DAJUN about the morality of kill or be killed? And there's no need to feel self-blame. Because this guy stabbed your brother at the bar. He was declared dead by the organization for treason and stealing money from the bar. Right now DAJUN is struggling mentally because if he doesn't kill this guy, the person buried will be him and Inhwan. And anyway, this guy is a bad person, he even tried to stab Song Ho and me to death. Find DAJUN by lifting the shovel, then swing it down hard. DAJUN raised the shovel, then swung it down hard. It hit the ground right next to the bar owner's head. DAJUN chooses to continue fighting, not wanting to be like these criminals. Big brother with bun hair was extremely disappointed and decided to bury DAJUN, really bury him, guys. After being knocked unconscious by a punch, they dragged DAJUN and brought him to the potato digging hole before, and bury him alive. No matter how much strength he had, even though his juniors were trying to cover it up, he felt regretful because he couldn't take revenge. But the most regretful thing is that it's impossible to continue being with these people any longer. While he was sinking into the ground, a junior suddenly appeared in DAJUN's sight. What's up? The familiar shoe of the old man of the HANGIL FAM family poked out. This eldest brother again picked up a life for his youngest brother, it's truly a heavy burden. HANGIL took his brother out from inside the hole, smiled and asked him how it felt to be revived. Really, where can DAJUN find a social brother like this? It's true that as soon as I left the mountains to go bush, I met a lucky noble who helped me. The juniors discovered a stranger inside their lair, then immediately rushed to bite. HANGIL caught this guy's iron stick with his bare hands, and asked him if he had ever kissed before. Then he let him kiss his shoes. Is that really unrelated, or is HANGIL's idea that the earth spirit is on his shoes? The remaining juniors were bewildered and they saw their comrades being defeated. One guy said, "It seems to be HANGI," and he immediately confirmed it. Who else keeps growing this land? There. I told you that people in this area really like growing potatoes. For HANGIL when we do SALD in just 3 notes. DAJUN just smiled and summed it up in one sentence. Meeting HANGIL here is truly a joy. Inhwan only now showed its face. So HANGIL immediately became a fan and asked to take pictures together. DAJUN wondered how HANGIL knew and came to see him. It turns out that HANGIL has noticed that recently this youngest brother often voluntarily does shady things. I didn't tell anyone, so I went to follow up. While following this mountain, he encountered a HEA KWANG and lost track of him. Hearing the sound of a motorbike, HANGIL came to find him. Then I saw that we were burying our youngest brother. When DAJUN wondered about the boss with curly hair and the bald representative. Then HANGIL when he said he couldn't see us. Questioning a junior, he revealed that the big brother with curly hair had left, and ordered them to bury him. After knowing what the name of the boss with curly hair is, HANGIL forced this guy to return his words, that they have already buried DAJUN. And today I have never met HANGIL here. This junior expressed his intention of not wanting to cooperate. So HANGIL kicked him into the hole. Lie down with your friend for fun. Then all 3 returned to the neighborhood. HANGIL was extremely reluctant to take pictures and sign autographs for Inhwan. Because for this guy, HANGIL is the legend of the area. DAJUN even though he was just buried, he was filled with fear. However, he wanted to continue managing this case, so he opened his mouth to ask HANGIL for help. HANGIL for help. Inhwan knows this is quite awkward, so I don't want everyone to get involved in this anymore. HANGIL pulled the youngest brother to a corner, and advised him not to participate in Inhwan's case anymore. Anyway, that big guy with curly hair in a bun. I also think that DAJUN has been buried so it may be peaceful for a while. And even HANGIL said it was. He couldn't beat that big guy with curly hair. DAJUN wanting to fight this guy will once again put the HANGIL FAM family in danger. HANGIL advised DAJUN not to get involved with street guys. Because this is not your place to show compassion. Then why do you help me? Are you any different from Inhwan? This statement from DAJUN made the eldest brother feel awkward. HANGIL had no choice but to reply, then do whatever you want. But I won't get involved in this. Tomorrow. DAJUN continued to think about taking down the big brother curly hair. But this is really difficult. Song Ho was discharged from the hospital and called to check on him. I heard In-hwan tell the story of that night. While talking, suddenly long-haired Kim Taek interrupted. DAJUN had to hang up the phone. Kim Taek asks, who are you talking to? DAJUN, it seems like he wants to hide what he's doing. Suddenly, he was immediately punched by Kim Taek. DAJUN didn't understand what had happened. Long-haired Kim Taek said he heard HANGIL talk about DAJUN poking his nose into people's affairs, and intending to take down Kwang's big brother. He reminded DAJUN that their big brothers are not ordinary guys. If you want to go meet them and talk, you have to beat me with this injured hand first. And us too. Members of the HANGIL FAM family appeared at the same time, wanting to stop the youngest brother's crazy intentions. It's true that youth has not yet experienced life. The day after DAJUN was buried, CHO HANGIL talked to Kim Taek and said, the youngest brother wants to go solo with curly hair in a bun. Hearing that, the two seniors could only look at each other and smile helplessly. I really don't know what to do with this situation. CHO HANGIL couldn't advise, so he had to ask the remaining members. And the plan they came up with was, DAJUN must be all members of the HANGIL FAM family first. DAJUN is extremely confused about this. Truly, that big brother is too strong, and it is impossible to win against even a member of HANGIL FAM. Then he has no right to interfere in this matter. The tied-haired girl also didn't want to say much. Immediately rushed forward to extinguish his foolish little brother's crazy idea. Are you ready for a skill show of HANGIL FAM family members? DAJUN was not ready yet. He immediately ate his fill of the hair tie's blows. He tried to defend, then suddenly rushed to hug the waist of the tied hair, and was immediately cursed. Are you stupid? I'm the one who taught you this trick. Then he pressed the person down hard, causing DAJUN to almost face down on the beautiful butterfly, followed by an extremely powerful backflip. How dare you compare with me? Actually, I'm still too young and green. There was a 30-minute break at halftime, with shaggy hair Songbin Ha entering the field. This member's forte is to hide like a traitor. Then he launched extremely precise straight punches. DAJUN was punched until his face darkened. You don't know anything about life at the bottom of this society. On. Curly hair threw back a sentence. Next opponent. Long hair Kim Taek. He's injured, so it seems like this is DAJUN's only chance. But when actually going into battle, the feeling when faced with long hair is exactly like that big guy with curly hair in a bun. DAJUN proactively rushed forward to attack first. But then, he was immediately hit by a flying dragon kick. And so he was beaten again. This is the reality, even an injured person like Kim Taek and DAJUN are unbeatable. The final opponent will be red hair. Is it softer? DAJUN thought that his strength would be closest to this person. But a judo attack from the red hair denied this. That is a lesson that the redhead has experienced. When trying to confront Chun Ki-woong, this has put the HANGIL FAM family in danger. Luckily, CHO HANGIL was there to carry this battle. But in the end, the consequences are still right in front of us. It's Kim Taek's broken arm. DAJUN also began to realize how childish his actions were. Can endanger your family. He said, I understand. I'll give up on defeating BAE Gangrak right now. But he also didn't want to abandon people in trouble. After helping NAUN, he realized, a person's fate can change when they receive help, and that's what DAJUN wants to do after taking revenge. To do this, DAJUN wants to have the strength to do it. That's why he said, please everyone, teach me to fight so I can win BAE Gangrak. I'm really helpless and have no cure for my youngest brother's stubbornness. Red hair angrily cursed this idiot. You still haven't woken up, is that right? I was about to rush up to continue teaching my younger brother when I was stopped by long hair. He said, we'll teach DAJUN how to fight according to his wish. Kim Taek said, if you are determined, your family will believe in you, you will be stronger after studying with us. More importantly, we will fight with you against Gangrak. DAJUN was also extremely surprised about this decision. Turns out everyone had the intention of fighting Gangrak from the beginning. CHO HANGIL said, this guy is aiming at us. And if we're not careful, we'll be attacked like the time Chun Ki-woong did. But Cho Hangil can't come out directly, because if that were the case, that name would also come out. So the eldest brother of the Cho Hangil's farm family immediately entrusted this job to long-haired Kim Take. Take everyone with you. Kill them first. Ho Hangil originally did not want DAJUN to follow him, because he was extremely stubborn in wanting to defeat Bagengrank himself. So I asked long-haired Kim Taek to check and then decided whether to let DAJUN go with me. Long Hair said he would teach DAJUN to a level that is stronger than the big brother of the HEA KWANGs. But first, there is one thing that DAJUN must know, they have come very close to us. And you are the one in the most danger, DAJUN. The reason was that Cho Hangil happened to know that two people approached DAJUN. One of those two would be a spy for the HEA KWANGs. Long Hair then led them all downstairs. DAJUN still did not believe it and even clarified that these two people could not be spies. Cho Hangil is available here. Knowing DAJUN won't believe this, open the back door to prove it. This is the person who was following the HEA KWANGs. As soon as he walked in, this guy swore he would reveal everything. Looking at his face, you knew he had eaten his fill. It turns out that night on that mountain and returning Cho Hangil that this was really too bad. I accidentally discovered a guy lurking outside the door. This guy told Hangil about Bagengrank targeting us. And then he realized something strange, that Bagengrank knew that DAJUN was alive. Cho Hangil called and questioned the juniors he met on the mountain. We swore up and down that we didn't talk anymore, and in fact, Bagengrank knew about it before we came back to report it. This guy said he was sure that someone next to you had told him about this. Cho Hangil speculated that the spy would definitely be one of the people who knew that DAJUN was still alive returning from that mountain. DAJUN was angry and couldn't believe this. He said that besides us, only Inhwan and Song Ho knew about this. This is really too difficult to think about for DAJUN, a person whose father was beaten. And one person blocked a glass bottle from being stabbed in the back. Which of these two people can he trust? Cho Hangil says he understands this. And advised DAJUN not to trust anyone at the bottom of this society. The sincere words of the boss of HANGIL FAM family are extremely profound. DAJUN checked his phone and discovered a lot of missed calls from Inhwan while he was fighting with everyone. Inhwan said his father had gone missing and was looking for him with Song Ho. DAJUN was still thinking when suddenly Inhwan called. DAJUN really don't know what to do. Should I answer the phone or not? Red Hair instigated, or just turn off the phone. DAJUN hesitated and ultimately did not accept this phone call. He put his phone away and said, "This place really has no one I can trust. I'm sorry everyone because I was too soft-hearted. Please train me so I can confront BAE Gangrak." On the other end of the phone, Inhwan saw DAJUN but turned off the phone. It seems like he is extremely desperate. 2 days later, staying at BAE Gangrak's base, the juniors were beating someone in a closed room. This person is Inhwan's father. It turns out these guys want to extort money from him like they did with the bald-headed representative. But this man refused to live or die, so we brought him back here. The big guy with curly hair in a bun walked in at this moment. He saw that this uncle was still stubborn and definitely refused to pay the protection fee. He immediately threw a kick to the uncle and threw him into the water tank behind him. His hands and feet were tied so he could only lie still. The big brother looked at his watch, then let his juniors drag him up, then continued to threaten. "We'll kill him for participating in the bald man's affairs. But now he will give this man a chance to live. That means you have to share the council's funds with the bald man." However, this uncle is extremely upright and would rather die than accept money. The big brother's name immediately changed to refer to this representative's son. "Do you want Inhwan to be killed too?" Then he gave this uncle time to think. After leaving, Curly Hair in a Bun was greeted by big brother Han Yang Min about dealing with the HANGIL FAM. It seems that HEA KWANG's upper echelons want to make peace with HANGIL FAM. However, after the plan to seduce DAJUN failed, his curly hair was tied into a bun and he tried to kill DAJUN. So the situation turned in a completely different direction. The entire HANGIL FAM family was also missing, because of this carelessness of Curly Hair in a Bun. So now the other big brothers will also get involved in this, because they have agreed to eliminate the HANGIL FAM family. HEA KWANG's leader did not care about this, and just let the big guys handle it themselves. Suddenly, a junior looked like he was in a hurry and rushed in, and reported back that something big had happened. Stay below this building. There are 2 juniors on guard duty here. A group of strangers appeared, even though they were a junior who warned them. With a bang, this guy was immediately kicked straight into the air. HANGIL FAM has arrived at the HEA KWANG's lair in this area. It's a big game, guys. We have been oppressed by HEA KWANG all this time, but this time we will kill them first. At this time, the HANGIL FAM family rushed straight inside. This time it will probably be another fierce battle. The tracking name is extremely cooperative. Reveal the diagram of the HEA KWANG lair here. So detailed that even the toilets are not overlooked. I would like to allow you to present the structural diagram of this building. 3 floors with stairs going up on the left and right sides, and especially the boss room is on the 3rd floor, room number 301. So just be the HANGIL FAM raid squad in the direction of the stairs on the left to go up straight to the boss's room. But things are not that simple. The spy claimed that on each floor there will be about 10 people always ready to perform the task. But with almost the entire core force, the HANGIL FAM family entered like a tropical storm. Extremely strong. Wipe out all the juniors in this area. Only our DAJUN has a great skill. However, it seems like he's still a bit clumsy in big battles. There was an opening in the back, but the red hair immediately grabbed the tire. There are teammates who like that kind of belly. DAJUN felt extremely secure in welcoming his juniors. At this time, Kim Taek discovered the stairs on the left side. The HANGIL FAM family immediately moved there. The HANGIL FAM family immediately moved there. The red hair is extremely cheeky and says that these dogs. I have to show you what politeness is. However, the juniors here immediately moved aside. Seeing that you are being pounded like that, it would be strange if you didn't sneak up. They said they don't have any enmity with you guys, just pretend you've never seen us, just run and find BAE Gangrak like you want. And actually, we don't like that guy either. Turns out this guy is very cunning. He wanted to trick the HANGIL FAM group into going up the stairs, then they would take the opportunity to pick up the tire from behind. While being proud of his intelligence, this guy was immediately punched right in the middle of his beak by the red hair. Clear out all HEA KWANG lairs here. Is the purpose of the HANGIL FAM family. So the red hair said he would beat all of you to death. 5 against 5, so these juniors was immediately crushed. There is no more armor left. Take a short break to regain your strength. HANGIL FAM family then continued to move to the 2nd floor according to the original plan. However, right now above the boss room. The 2 big brothers still seem to be very leisurely and calm. According to them, this is also a good thing. Continue up the stairs to the 2nd floor. The whole group was extremely surprised to see a pile of furniture blocking the path up. And soon a large number of juniors, fully armed, is approaching from behind. Continues to have a few more names. Still moving down from the 3rd floor. It seems like the stairs on that side are not sealed. The HANGIL FAM family plans to make salad for all the juniors here. Then go through the stairs on the other side. To advance to the boss room, when DAJUN was thinking this game was easy. Then a junior boy acted very strangely. He ran away and the rest of the group did not rush to attack but only clustered in defense. The HANGIL FAM family has begun to suspect that they are up to some kind of diabolical scheme. Realized they were buying time. Kim Taek immediately told everyone to quickly handle this place. Turns out that's true. This junior reported that he had stopped the HANGIL FAM group on the 2nd floor just as Curly Hair Bun's instructions said. Big brother Han Yang Min called and informed HEA KWANG's big brothers. And they're on their way here. That's why this guy with curly hair wants to keep the HANGIL FAM family on the 2nd floor. The juniors just need to hold back until the big brothers arrive. And very dangerous because of being mixed in with this group of juniors. There are 2 candidates for big brother of this area in the near future and they are quite good. Is dangerous. Kim Taek was stolen with a knife by a guy with long hair. And the red hair was punched. Quite heavy on the ribs. This guy with long hair and dark eyes loves to maneuver and use knives. The other guy is quite muscular, so his punch is also quite heavy. According to Curly Hair, these 2 names are considered as strong as Chun Ki-woong. Just arrived, these 2 guys are like a bunch of kids. Want to execute the entire HANGIL FAM family in one fell swoop. There's no need to call the big brothers. The red hair was still in pain, so this guy took the opportunity to rush over and try to hit him again. Luckily, DAJUN appeared. And copy long hair's skill with one-shot flying dragon ascension, free of charge, immediately made this name become a blood soul immediately. Are you okay? DAJUN reached out to help his red hair. He is much different now. No longer dragging teammates' feet like before. This guy wearing glasses seems like a genuine kid. His temper is hot like ice cream. Not paying attention to the advice of the guy with long hair and dark eyes, he just rushed forward. Sighing in frustration, this long-haired, dark-eyed man had no choice but to send his juniors to support the young man. Ha ha ha. This guy wearing glasses immediately rushed straight to DAJUN and punched him. Copy the ruffled hair's boyish technique every once in a while. DAJUN dodged all of this guy's attacks, and right after that, a red-haired judo fan was also recreated perfectly, causing this reserve big brother HEA KWANG to lie on the floor. This baby is extremely angry. Because there's nothing you can do about DAJUN. He got up again. After that, rushed to the Great War of 300 rounds. Thanks to my youngest brother, I was able to hold this guy off. Therefore, the remaining members of the HANGIL FAM family can also breathe easier. The juniors were continuously evaporated on the spot, and long-haired Kim Taek deals with this reserve big brother. He said, "I'll only model once." Then an extremely powerful punch shook the whole stomach of this big brother with long hair and dark eyes. However, this guy with dark eyes is truly sinister. He actually took advantage of Xian to let his hair grow longer. Luckily, there was a cast on my arm to support me. This guy with dark eyes, he stood up and said, "I give up. I don't need to win against you." And reveals that HEA KWANG's other big brothers are coming. When Kim Taek was still thinking how to deal with this situation. So this guy with the black eye left Kim Taek behind, then rushed towards the other members of HANGIL FAM, to sneak a knife. It's so annoying, isn't it, brothers? While fighting, someone tickled me like this. So what else is there to fight for? Plan to win quickly and win quickly. Of the HANGIL FAM family has failed. With the appearance of these two reserve big brothers. Once big brother HEA KWANG's group arrives at this building, then HANGIL FAM almost no longer has a chance. In this extremely dangerous situation, Kim Taek has made a decision, and signaled to the remaining members. This guy wearing glasses continued to crow at DAJUN. "You're about to see all the naked chickens." Still wondering if I should use the ultimate technique for BAE Gangrak. Whether or not DAJUN has worked hard to train this young boy. Kim Taek interrupted and told DAJUN to run up the stairs on the other side. The HANGIL FAM family decided to raid the stairs on the opposite side to go straight to the third floor. These two reserve big brothers saw this and immediately followed. And right after that, they immediately played two rejuvenation spears. The HANGIL FAM family decided to leave two members, ruffled hair and bun hair, behind. DAJUN was quite worried that these two people wouldn't be able to handle the crowd here. Kim Taek, it seemed like he knew about DAJUN's worries. Immediately told him, "You don't need to worry, those two are always trustworthy and always behind, protecting everyone." After that, all three immediately ran up the stairs, straight to the boss room. With long hair and dark eyes, the attempt to stop HANGIL FAM on the second floor failed. Is extremely uncomfortable. He took out another switchblade, and decided to just kill them for convenience. After a brief moment before the match, both sides immediately rushed in, with all-in salary bet. At the same time, on the third floor, DAJUN group has arrived in front of the boss room. Extremely polite opened the door. The friendly homeowner came out to welcome him with a big fist, causing the house guest to fly several meters away. B. Gangrak appears outside the door, with big brother Han Yang-min following behind. Curly hair tied in a cold bun, said to DAJUN, "This time you are no longer alone. Because you have a friend to bury with you. Unlike the time in the mountain." DAJUN blocked BAE Gangrak's powerful punch. "You should fight with all your might, because I won't lose to you a second time." Bae Gangrak didn't say anything more, but immediately rushed forward to crush DAJUN like last time. Then suddenly an arm was locked by the red hair, planning to take him out. Who does this guy with curly hair in a bun jerk his hand and refuse? DAJUN took advantage of the opportunity to rush forward to pick up the tire. Then receive a horizontal sweep of curly hair in a bun. Take advantage of BAE Gangrak's curly hair. Red hair has created extremely favorable conditions, allowing DAJUN to deliver a powerful hook punch. Big brother Han Yang-min saw his curly hair tied up in a bun, was about to rush in and immediately took a kick. Kim Taek intends to wrap his head around this guy. Leave it for two people to handle. Curly hair in a bun. Continuous kicks, turning off all the firepower released, to the point of smoke. But all of them were blocked by this big brother. After Chun Ki-woong's encounter, members of the HANGIL FAM family, realizing your limitations, and tried very hard to practice. So now punching and kicking is much better than before. Han Young-min extremely despises Kim Taek. He took off his coat, to show off the tattoos on his arms. Extremely simple. Block one kick, then throw another kick. Hit Kim Taek right in the face. Then the throat is cut open, then beheaded. As expected of big brother HEA KWANG, he's very powerful. He said. Do you know why HEA KWANG left you guys alone? Because we only have you guys from the bottom door. DAJUN saw Kim Taek's condition and was immediately distracted. Luckily, I got red hair for me. After that, the two of them rushed to gather together with their curly hair in buns. DAJUN is still looking for an opportunity to use the great move he has carefully prepared for BAE Gangrak. On the other side, Kim Taek is still in a weak position. Han Yang-min plans to take care of the entire HANGIL FAM family, and after the big brothers arrive, he will make salad for HANGIL. This guy thinks that in addition to CHO HANGIL, he is the main force of the HANGIL FAM family. Only Kim Taek left with red hair. The two names downstairs are very quick. Will be dealt with by the reserve captains and his juniors. He was so proud that he took a kick. But Kim Taek was able to help. And then started competing to see whose legs were longer. Long hair and dark eyes. After trying to poke and prod and get bored, he was caught with a knife by the tied-haired girl from HANGIL FAM. After that, he used all his strength to knock this guy down for daring to ruin the outfit she was wearing throughout the whole story. This bad-tempered guy still managed to use a knife. It's really addictive, but with long hair and dark eyes, the opponent looks like he's exhausted. He took the opportunity to rush forward and intend to continue flossing. While he was excited, he was immediately hit with a punch right in the face. Shaggy Hair rushed to rescue the girl, but the situation now becomes even more difficult, when the Shaggy Hair had to face all the thugs on the second floor. And to my surprise, my hair was rough but I was hiding like Drake. After that, the counterattack was extremely swift. Kim Taek revealed that, strategy number 2 of the HANGIL FAM family. It's not him or the redhead, but it's the curly-haired name Ha Songbin. All the juniors have been defeated, and next, shaggy-haired Ha Songbin decided to deal with these two reserve big brothers. A junior who pretended to collapse on the ground was also surprised by the performance of the ruffled hair. This person actually fought alone. Two reserve big brothers' names. Still evading, then counterattacked. This kid criticizes the punch of his curly hair for being weak. Immediately commit a crime. And even boasted that, I have defeated many guys with this thorn punch. Fuck you. Bullhead. Punched so hard that even the iron door behind him had to cave in. I admit that this young buck is also very strong. Shaggy Hair just gently said that punching like you is not punching. Open your eyes and look at this. Then suddenly appeared in front of me. Punch this kid and make his head crooked. The rule of curly hair is that if you punch, you have to be fast. The child immediately measured the floor under his friend's feet. This long hair and dark eyes is truly a sinister thing. Throwing my shirt around to play. Vision of Shaggy Hair. And then cut the shirt in half with my own hands. Shaggy Hair must be quite difficult for this guy, because he's so proficient at using a two-handed switchblade. And suddenly got stabbed by a black eye. Hit the right side of the abdomen. This guy with dark eyes said very proudly, "You are really lucky. Stabbed like that and still alive." After that, I rushed forward and decided to get rid of my frizzy hair. Currently staying on the 3rd floor. The fight with the boss is still going very hard, although it's 2 against 1. But DAJUN has a feeling we will lose. It's not good to continue like this. DAJUN pondered about it. Use a trick. Which CHO HANGIL once taught to deal with BAE Gangrak. He asked the red-haired guy to buy time. Keep your curly hair in a bun for a moment. So I can hit the big move. By the red hair rushing up and wrapping around BAE Gangrak for a while. This created a space for DAJUN to take advantage of. For HANGIL when speaking, it's useless to fight a strong guy head-on. Must take the opportunity to immediately shoot a penalty while the opponent is careless. When printed, Sun rushed in and was about to make a big move. Then eat 1 pound of curly hair in a bun every day. It seems like the red hair can't hold this guy back. Because it has to really distract him. If you don't pay attention, you can pull off a great move. Simply put, it means successfully hooking the tire. The red hair now listened to his younger brother and rushed to hold him back. Was immediately beaten to pieces. After a kill, he lies still in place. DAJUN was about to rush to the rescue. But it was no longer time. Get another kick. Unexpected. The red-haired person counterattacked perfectly. This is literally holding back, guys. His curly hair in a bun was extremely angry. He cursed this bull-headed guy. Take your hands off. Actually, he was distracted at this time, DAJUN at this time, he rushed forward empty-handed. Both hands hugged the head of the curly hair in a bun, then launched an extremely powerful knee strike, causing him to fall on the ground, and this is only step 1. DAJUN jumped again and decided to unleash a big move. This will be the only way for short and stunted guys like you. To be able to defeat him is to break a joint. DAJUN immediately hugged the curly-haired bun's left hand tightly. Then he gritted his teeth and broke it. However, this guy's hands are also very strong. So cracking the joint is quite difficult. With her curly hair tied in a bun, she used her other hand to clasp her hands together. Then he pulled DAJUN up as if the dynasty was about to be dissolved. But no, in the textbooks, the only thing to do is bend. After that, looking at the opponent's face is okay. DAJUN immediately gave curly hair a kick, then continued his work of cracking joints. Perhaps this is a physical therapy department. You want to kill HANGIL FAM? I won't let you touch a single hair of my family. Then, he immediately cracked the knuckles of his curly hair in a bun, causing him to howl from the comfortable feeling of being treated. Red Hair and Kim Taek were happy, when he saw that DAJUN had mastered his ultimate move. But the big brother Han Yang-min laughed and said, "You guys don't understand anything about this guy." Then rushed into battle with Kim Taek, curly hair tied in a bun but using her own broken arm. Lifted DAJUN up. It looks like a monkey hugging an elephant's leg, and then hit the floor hard. Makes DAJUN excited. The red hair was injured quite badly and could not move. And Kim Taek was entangled by that big guy Ha Yang-min. So no one can. Come support DAJUN right now. Wear your curly hair in a bun to make salad. At this time, BAE Gangrak used his own broken arm. Lifted DAJUN up. Then threw it strongly towards the room. Locked up Inhwan's father. Discovered a bathtub with someone. Looks like he's tied up in the corner. DAJUN recognized this People's Council representative. Truth, it is true that many messages have been sent by Inhwan. I saw curly hair walking in. DAJUN Song Ho is a spy, right? This guy didn't answer but just spoke. Dead people need to know what to do. After that, continue fertilizing DAJUN with onions. A powerful head kick. Causing our DAJUN to collapse and feed the dogs on the spot. Next, curly hair Bun used one hand to lift DAJUN up. It seems like the situation of the HANGIL FAM family right now is not very positive. Kim Taek could barely hold off Han Yang-min. With long hair and dark eyes, every time it opens a little, it jumps up and skewers the girl with the tied hair. Making Ha Song-bin's hair frizzy. There's no way he can end this guy. DAJUN's situation right now is the worst when facing the enemy boss. He was drowned in the water by his curly hair. With this guy's steel-hard hands, DAJUN was almost powerless to resist. In the final hours, the good and evil flashed before his eyes. Does he think that only cruel people who do dirty things like HEA KWANG can live? Finally, DAJUN has closed his eyes and given up. Guys, perhaps I would like to end this series here. Oh no. Mr. DAJUN is truly an evil soul. Stick out your hand. And wrapped tightly around BAE Gangrak's good hand, then intended to continue using the great move. His curly hair in a bun was now really hot and he swore, "This stupid dog." Then press DAJUN into the water. One part is the end of the whole body's strength. along with presenting a bunch of reasons. Will DAJUN be able to break it? The other arm has curly hair in a bun or not? Returning to the situation on the second floor. This guy with dark eyes and sharp ass is still proud. Because today he asked for a lot of rice pudding. Two members of HANGIL FAM. It seems that this guy is being harassed quite miserably. Guy with dark eyes and ruffled hair. Get rid of that girl so you can still have a way to live. This guy knows he's absolutely no match for curly hair. So I just pretended to play a few tricks back and forth. After that, just leave it open for a bit. Rushed forward to play tricks with the tied-haired girl. Because of protecting his friend, Han Song-bin had to rush forward. And this creates conditions for the dark eye to be skewered several times. Han Song-bin is extremely determined to protect the following family members of HANGIL FAM. Because he thinks he is the most useless person in the family. So it's impossible not to tell a little bit about this person's past. Han Song-bin was once a man lying on the side of the road, waiting to die. Like a corpse at the bottom of this society. It was the HANGIL FAM family that reincarnated him. So he thought, I can die for them as many times as I want. Long hair and eyes silently confirmed, okay then let you die first. Go back to the third floor again, now outside the hallway. Kim Taek is still describing a 300-round attack. With the name of Big Brother Han Yang-min. This Big Brother's name is also really bad. Hit the injured arm of long hair Kim Taek. Make this HANGIL FAM family member. Resist pain and defend. Sometimes I can counterattack a bit, but all of them are neutralized by this Big Brother. While babbling, this stubborn dog. Are you sure you're going to make me sweat? An extremely beautiful spinning kick from Kim Taek. Immediately stamped a shoe print on this guy's pure white shirt. If we weren't so stubborn, we would have become a pile of corpses long ago. And today I have also decided to persevere in life, Kim Taek said. Big Brother Han Yang-min's name right now. Extremely angry, because his shirt had just been washed yesterday. Immediately rushed back. Attack repeatedly. This time, Kim Taek's long hair is too stingy. Was stepped on by this boss. His arm was broken. After that, he intended to give another blow, probably wanting to destroy this part of his long hair. In a situation that hangs by a thread, curly-haired Han Song-bin suddenly appeared, and delivers an extremely high-quality punch. So it's possible that the black eye has been punched, guys. Go back to the second floor a bit. This calf was born early. What about dark eyes? Wow. This must be a yoga pose to prevent and treat spinal pain. Even though he had been seriously injured, Han Song-bin was still determined to protect his family members. Curly hair said, you should rest. Change people. Staying in room 301 right now. DAJUN is still busy with his joint cracking work. It seems that with this posture, it is very difficult for DAJUN to complete the great move. Curly hair in a bun is already impatient. He used the broken arm itself. Knocked DAJUN on the head once. Cannot bear it any longer. DAJUN finally had to let go of his curly hair. Suddenly Inhwan's father moved the chair. Then rushed straight to the back of this Big Brother. Gangrak was extremely angry because he was secretly attacked. Immediately give this uncle a beating. It seems that this guy is also very miserable. While fertilizing onions enthusiastically, someone's curly hair was pulled back into a bun. Use a stick to hit your head hard. DAJUN had now finished showering and used the chair leg to curl his hair into a bun. Gangrak now looked in surprise at his blood-stained hands. DAJUN said, the worm has been suffering forever, now I am that worm. Extremely angry at being knocked on the head, curly hair screams, fuck you. DAJUN. Then the two rushed in again. Continue preparing the salad together. Go out into the hallway a bit. Han Song-bin is still fighting with Han Yang-min. This big guy is still constantly defending and dodging the stormy punches of shaggy hair. Patriarch, this ill-mannered guy, this Big Brother really has a lot of snout. And the retribution immediately comes to the mouth. Haha. Long hair sees this Big Brother losing power. Then took advantage of the situation to rush forward and attack. Who can avoid this name? I almost got a response from him. Luckily, curly hair arrived just in time. Kim Taek wants to have curly hair. Fertilize this Big Brother. But no. Shuri hair said he wanted to deal with this guy alone. I definitely have to defeat him. This big brother's name, after knowing the name of the shaggy hair, is HA Songbin. It's extremely satisfying. Turns out he's an acquaintance. Before, when I was young with shaggy hair, I met this big brother. That is the greatest misfortune in this life of HA Songbin. That day, this big brother probably just came out to get a number, so he seems quite arrogant. Kim Taek saw such a crazy expression for the first time. Because of his ruffled hair, he was usually a gentle boy. It seems that this is the biggest opponent today. But he cannot lose, no matter what the cost. The match took place in the room. At this time, Dan has changed. DAJUN seems to have dodged the attack of curly hair, guys. Even though this big brother's name seems to be very strong. But DAJUN also realized that his broken arm was definitely a problem, too. Even though this guy was deliberately hiding it, the damage in his fist was reduced. So with the main character's stunning strength, DAJUN can continue to resist. More importantly, this big brother is in an agitated state because he was knocked on the head. This is an opportunity for DAJUN to apply the skills he has copied. A horizontal punch from HA Songbin, Flying Dragon Ascension by Kim Taek, and a judo fan from the red hair. Oh no! Looks like this guy is a bit heavy. What are you doing, kid? The curly hair in a bun pressed DAJUN's head hard to the ground, then threw him towards the bathtub. Just got a little better. Now DAJUN has become a punching bag again, guys. However, he has been harassed for many years. DAJUN can still endure. Curly hair in a bun now decided to use his secret weapon. He walked towards the corner of the house, and pulled out an iron bar. Is this normally used to pull out nails or something? We are the kings of the bottom of this society. Curly hair tied in a bun for statement. Then he raised the iron bar to finish off DAJUN. When the uncle saw this, he immediately rushed to hug his leg to stop him. So I got fucked by curly hair in a bun. I'll tell you one thing before I die. The most powerful people in this world are those who specialize in robbery and robbery. After saying that, he continuously beat DAJUN with this iron rod. Looks like I won't be able to try this time, guys. In the agony, DAJUN thought about his brothers again. When he apologized for bringing trouble to the HANGIL FAM family. But said actually, we would be stupid like you to help people. Curly hair in a bun after pounding DAJUN. Then he went back to his uncle's place to play. It seems like every time he goes through suffering and reflection, the main character becomes stronger again. DAJUN now blocked curly hair's attack and tied it into a bun. Uncle, I will definitely save you. Then he unleashed an extremely powerful punch into the hand holding the curly hair in a bun, causing this iron wall to fly away. DAJUN I scream, we will smash to death everyone who dares to hinder us. Then threw a powerful punch and hit the boss's chin. Out into the hallway again and back to 8 years ago. Han Songbin was still in the orphanage when he was only 10 years old. Although this place is quite old, there is a director who always takes care of it enthusiastically. And there are friends who grew up with him, always full of warmth. But because he was young, he didn't understand this warmth. One time he wandered out. By chance, I met big brother Han Yong Min beating someone. Saw a child sitting in the corner. This guy was planning on killing people and destroying their mouths. But when I heard this child say he was an orphan, this guy took the director hostage and threatened him, demanding a large sum of money. Even though the school had collected money to give him. But this guy still let his juniors destroy this house. Then he even beat the director and as a result, she left. Soon after, this orphanage was closed after the death of the director. The children were transferred to different orphanages. That warm place. Our house has become cold. Everything became like that because he met that bastard Han Yun Min. Han Songbin thought that he had implicated everyone. And then he went straight to the headquarters of that guy Han Yong Min. With a knife in hand, when he saw this bastard, shaggy hair immediately rushed over. But how can a small child defeat these thugs? The boy was defeated immediately after that, and this bastard also used the knife he brought, and cut an extremely large wound on Ha Songbin's forehead. After that time, the boy came a few more times but was still gradually beaten down by them. He struggled to survive and lay waiting to die on the side of the road. This scar on his forehead always reminded him of the terrible memory of that day. So today, new debt, old debt, Ha Songbin wants to get it all back. This big brother is still extremely disrespectful, perhaps in the past. Has fertilized this boy quite a bit. He started talking again about the deceased principal Kia. In order to attack Han Song-bin's psychology, he then used the first attack that he used on Kim Taek. But with the speed and agility of my boss-like Drake, curly hair has been avoided. Then he threw a very fast punch into the big brother's abdomen. The attacks were so fast that Han Yang-min could only attempt to defend. And just a little loophole, a series of right lines of shaggy hair, repeatedly hit this guy's abdomen. But to deal with a big brother, HEA KWANG's is not that simple. Surely it will take a few chapters, guys. Han Yang-min decided. I'll take off my newly washed white shirt, to show off my tattoos. And then there was another hard battle. Both rushed in. I punch you. You punched me again. Muscular, sweaty. And the continuously thrown punches were truly extremely powerful. Why do they fight like dogs and have red hair? She commented very subtly. Kim Taek realized that her curly hair now seemed to have gradually weakened. And that big brother is still quite energetic. The blows that followed were completely unharmed compared to him. Previously when Cho Hangil discovered that Jia had rough hair, it seemed like he was lying there waiting to die, in an abandoned house. After that, Cho Hangil went home to eat. It seems like this is how he recruits members to his family. But this has truly reborn the life of this orphan share. Once again give him a warm family. And this time, shaggy hair will not let this family be hurt by dirty people like us. These guys can only give you punches. This hook seems to be quite high quality, guys. The author invested in drawing so carefully. The lower jaw is completely deviated. Like this, I have to go to orthopedic surgery, nothing else. Two extremely affectionate seniors came to support their ruffled-haired younger brother. Inside room 301, action. The two sides immediately rushed at each other. After that, continue the 300-round great battle. The curly hair in a bun now seems tired, so the movement has also slowed down quite a bit. That's why DAJUN was able to dodge and counterattack quite effectively. However, this big brother's name is very stupid, so it's very difficult. So that DAJUN can defeat him. Curly hair in a bun is extremely uncomfortable, because the look in his eyes shows his belief in DAJUN's strong family love. Previously, this guy also had a rough family, and there also exists a family feeling like DAJUN does now. But then he was betrayed by his own family, and as a result, he used his own fist to smash that family, as well as an illusion of family affection at the bottom of this society. Then he met someone who also knew this truth like him, and began joining the HEA KWANG organization, and caused countless sins afterward. DAJUN dares to use force again. From that stupid sentiment, fight Gangrak, made him very angry. Again, there were exchanges of moves taking place between the two sides. Curly hair in a bun can now take advantage of the loophole, grab the collar, then gave DAJUN an extremely strong head kick. Next, then do the long throw sport. DAJUN's whole body was shaking. Look at that big guy. Still rushing forward, I really don't know how to deal with it anymore. As Hangil taught, it may be out of sight of the opponent. After that, find a convenient weapon and beat your opponent to the punch. DAJUN immediately used the ultimate technique how to beat a cow from a mountain, spitting out phlegm mixed with the onions he had eaten until now towards his curly hair. Unexpectedly, this name can be easily avoided. And then launched an extremely powerful knee kick, causing DAJUN to fly away. This kick made his hands tremble. And then a series of kicks are released continuously. But DAJUN is still extremely stubborn. Trying to stand up, he said, "Today, I absolutely will not lose to you." With curly hair in a bun, hearing that made me think that this guy is just as stupid as I was in the past. So he immediately beat DAJUN again. At this time, DAJUN was Stingray. It's the nth time. Turn around. Repeat the move that defeated the school boss before. Curly hair in a bun received a punch to the lower jaw. But for him, it doesn't mean anything. At halftime, DAJUN started talking again with curly hair. Ask him if he has close people like family in HEA KWANG. This guy was betrayed by his own family. How can I still have faith in my family? For him, there is no existence from that weak emotion. Curly hair tied back in a bun rushed forward, and unleashed an extremely powerful punch. But DAJUN already had an intention. He dodged this punch. and used one hand to splash some water in the bathtub. Then he threw it hard towards the eyes of this boss with curly hair. Take advantage of this name to wipe your face clean. DAJUN grabbed a steel pipe lying on the floor. The big brother also quickly picked up ToNotDie earlier. He was extremely bored when he had to listen to DAJUN ramble about family love story. DAJUN just smiled and held up the steel pipe. He said it's because you don't have a good family like HANGIL FAM. And that's true. HANGIL FAM's family was here. Where are all the HEA KWANG guys? The HANGIL FAM seniors greatly facilitated the youngest brother's ability to fertilize his curly hair. One shot like this. It must be 10 times more effective than the big move. The curly hair in a bun must have rested. If you move and us, then you will not have peace. DAJUN summarizes this attack. With all members still breathing, HANGIL FAM today had to fight a rough battle. Only then can victory be achieved. DAJUN has been recognized by the seniors in the family. Is truly grown up. The laundry job can be left to the redhead later. HAHAHA. When I was planning to rescue Inhwan's father, I suddenly couldn't see this uncle anywhere. It was obvious that he was still in the room just now. DAJUN has a feeling that something is wrong. Immediately run out into the hallway. Then continue down below search. But I can't see it either. There really is a problem here. Arrested a subordinate. DAJUN was able to interrogate the information out during any inadvertent moment. This uncle has been dragged to the basement of the parking lot. This junior talked about HANGIL FAM defeating Gangrak. Turned Inhwan's father into a corpse. If the bribery fails, HEA KWANG will eliminate the target. Before this news, DAJUN rushed down walkway to the basement. Even breathing he felt pain all over his body. But I can't let my friend down again. DAJUN continued to leave his ruined body. Go down to the parking lot. The parking lot was quiet at this time, not a single person was seen. Try hearing a small noise coming from nearby. DAJUN rushed over. Then suddenly saw Songho. He also seemed extremely surprised when he saw DAJUN. This brother said he knew Inhwan's father was locked up here, and wanted to go to the rescue but was afraid because there were too many enemies above. So temporarily hiding here, DAJUN talked about attacking the HEA KWANGs again. And saw the uncle on the 3rd floor but then just let his guard down and let him be taken away. Then I heard that this uncle had been captured down here, so I went down. Younger brother Songho said he had just arrived so he didn't see anything. Then he pointed to one side and there was an emergency exit nearby, suggesting to DAJUN to go there and check. The two of them slowly walked there. This guy is still very active. Said he would protect DAJUN. Don't get hurt like last time again. Then all 3 of us will eat pizza together again. DAJUN was immediately moved and gave this brother a punch. He played cards with this brother. Ask where Inhwan Mandarin's father is hidden. Indeed, this guy is a cockroach. His skills were not bad, but he was able to block DAJUN's rejuvenation spear. From the first moment he saw this guy appear, DAJUN discovered that he always hid his hands behind his back. And used his fist to check. Sure enough, this guy's hands were stained with blood. This cockroach also immediately played the card back and said, because the other guy's blood was bleeding too much. He was the one who dragged the uncle to the parking lot. Then threw it inside the car. DAJUN is extremely disappointed. Because I really put my trust in the new kid who got a job at this pizza shop. Turns out everything that happened was just a lie. Of course it is. Younger brother Songho just said. Easily blocked DAJUN's fist. He admitted to feeling nauseous many times. Because of what I said when I was with DAJUN, and there was one more thing, something he didn't say in his application. That's the experience of fighting. And ran away from home much better than this brother. I can't believe this guy is the big brother of HEA KWANG. The situation is so difficult now. When DAJUN was injured quite seriously, how can I be this brother's opponent? DAJUN has 2 questions he wants to ask this guy. One is that the person in the trunk is definitely the uncle or not. And secondly, how is Inhwan? This guy doesn't seem to need to hide anything. He immediately admitted that it was indeed his uncle. And he only does the job of monitoring Inhwan. But because this guy keeps running around looking for his father, he felt annoyed, so he said that's why I killed him. He's probably lying on a mountain somewhere right now. DAJUN was extremely angry when he heard this younger brother say that. Rushed forward to continue attacking. But it really doesn't matter to this guy. Ta gently escaped. My mouth is still sweet to him. DAJUN. It's true that the cockroach's nature is in the bones, guys. I am a person with feelings. A nauseating sentence followed by a kick made the pizza shop colleague fall face down. And then there was a long rock lagoon. And our DAJUN is the subject of onion fertilization. But without slipping at all. Very reputable and fast. Every time I get up, this guy gossiped and said, "You are much stronger than that Gangrak guy." When he was planning to treat his brother as a ball and shoot it. Then suddenly Inhwan, who was considered dead on a certain mountain. Suddenly, the grave team appeared to block DAJUN's kick. Inhwan admitted that I almost died at the hands of this guy. It turned out that this younger brother ordered his subordinates to bury Inhwan. However, he did not accept that he was buried twice. This sentence has a hidden object in it. After threatening to know information about HEA KWANG's headquarters, I ran all the way here just in time to save DAJUN a kick. The two injured seniors decided at this point, I will join forces to deal with my brother. Song Ho expressed his heartache that his two brothers wanted to deal with him. He told you to remember it carefully. Didn't I almost die because of you guys? Correct. Thank you, because at that time DAJUN gently responded. I saw you as my younger brother, but it was all just an act. Brothers and sisters, the head of the cow. So the two brothers rushed forward, punching and kicking. But it doesn't mean anything. Inhwan now pulled out his things again. But how? Can deal with HEA KWANG's big brother. Song Ho gently caught the knife. After that, he launched a big dragon move, hitting Inhwan's chin, causing this brother to only feel sadness and hatred. Younger brother Song Ho decided that this time he would throw this older brother into the sea to play with fish. DAJUN once again rose to immortality. Make your body stand in front of Inhwan. This makes Song Ho extremely bored. Because according to him, the attack just now was not light. Then he continued to rush towards Tan to give his brother a beating. When you're crowing, no one can be stronger than you. At the bottom of this society. And want to destroy one of him DAJUN's hands. Then the big boss HANGIL FAM appeared and kicked. Cause this cockroach cousin. Fell face down and broke the car window. DAJUN. Did you have to suffer with that body? You have worked hard. CHO HANGIL actually participated in this battle. When he heard DAJUN wonder about this, CHO HANGIL said, there has been a change, and after it is resolved this guy will clarify. This younger brother Song Ho has also heard of CHO HANGIL's reputation as a very strong fighter. This time I can meet you. Without a little communication, it's impossible. He rushed over and wanted to fight CHO HANGIL. It's another exchange of moves. Some people punch, others kick. Can feel it for a moment. CHO HANGIL is not really as strong as rumored. This younger brother was extremely pleased when he thought that, if I defeat CHO HANGIL, won't I gain fame? But no. The boss of the HANGIL FAM family immediately destroyed the illusion of strength of this brother. He changed the way he struck. And all movements also changed, making it impossible for this brother to read his movements. Now he knows. Then that's why HANGIL is so strong. Outing is too much, guys. I've met many brats with delusions of power like you. If you meet me, I will teach you a lesson. CHO HANGIL said. When this guy heard that, his whole body was shaking. He immediately asked for a truce and said, if you let me go, then HEA KWANG will no longer pursue the destruction of the robbery headquarters today. It sounds like a bargain, but no. Give HANGIL a right now. Into the nauseating mouth of this cockroach cousin. Because just now for HANGIL, met the leader of HEA KWANG. And the full-scale war has already begun. While flying, rushed to gather force. Intending to unleash a powerful punch to kill Liu's younger brother. Then suddenly a motorbike came, and immediately took this younger brother away. I don't know which car company picks up passengers and is so reputable. Then RA, the leader of HEA KWANG, told this motorcyclist to hide here. If there is an emergency, you can immediately respond. DAJUN feels extremely regretful. Because the cockroach cousin hasn't been dealt with yet. He thinks that everything is caused by this guy. The boss of HANGIL FAM patted his youngest brother's shoulder and encouraged him, you did well today, destroying our dog nest. And save that uncle, that's okay. I'm extremely proud of you. The war with the HEA KWANGs has temporarily come to an end here. I carry you. I will help you, the HANGIL FAM family, leave the doghouse of criminals. DAJUN also had his own lessons. Be careful with cockroaches because they are very dangerous. In-hwan finally saved his father. It seems like after this time, father and son will be together again and everything will be better again, he cried so pitifully and pitifully. Thank you so much DAJUN for helping him save my father. At the bottom of this society, there are still people whom DAJUN can put all his trust in, and to be able to survive in this place, he just needs to be with them. The whole group then dragged their tattered bodies back home. The red-haired girl was extremely touched when she could still eat instant noodles, and the members felt extremely lucky, because everything has temporarily ended. Basically, everyone is fine. So fine that they're even arguing over whose fighting technique they were able to get rid of that dog nest this time. The boss of HANGIL FAM is also happily eating a box of instant noodles. However, it seems that he is still extremely thoughtful, when he hears DAJUN silently wondering about the total war. Other family members were also surprised by this. CHO HANGIL then said, I recently learned that HEA KWANG was planning to kill us. Regardless of whether I showed up or not, it was because of this that I attacked Gangrak's base. Long-haired Kim Taek now wondered, why does CHO HANGIL seem to know so much about HEA KWANG's apparatus? For example, last time when facing Chun Ki-woong, and also this time HEA KWANG's return. The boss of HANGIL FAM frowned for a moment then put down his bowl of instant noodles, and said it was nothing special. It was a thing of the past. Please don't misunderstand. HEA KWANG was founded by me. HANGIL FAM family members. When I heard my elder say that, the person who founded HEA KWANG was extremely surprised. It turns out that the former HANGIL FAM boss, along with a friend named Shin Go-sung, founded HEA KWANG. And this friend is also the current leader of HEA KWANG. CHO HANGIL said that this guy wasn't such a scumbag before. But he did something stupid. So CHO HANGIL left HEA KWANG. When the redhead wondered what was happening, CHO HANGIL seemed unhappy, crushing the soft drink in his hand. Throw it into a box of instant noodles to taste. Then he lay down again. It seemed like he didn't want to share this unpleasant past story. Anyway, after the Gangrak incident, both sides officially declared war. CHO HANGIL doesn't want his family to get too involved in this matter. So I asked the HANGIL FAM family if they wanted to move house. But then he dismissed it himself, because he knows that running away is not the style of the HANGIL FAM family. Don't worry, you'll be safe with me. CHO HANGIL said. Tomorrow. CHO HANGIL was extremely moody. Standing on the terrace of the house. Took out a photo from inside the book. Looks like this is CHO HANGIL's photo. With his former friend and current HEA KWANG leader. At a certain church, a free breakfast program is taking place today. For teenagers who sing like love, to put it simply, they are runaway children. At this time, there was a teenager in front of the counter who had just graduated from high school. Just as I was going bushwalking, it was true that I was going bushwalking in the modern style, when a guy rolled his eyes and threatened to ask for another piece of meat. He said that no one could eat a piece of nose like this, but the person delivering the food reluctantly said, sorry. Because we have to divide it equally among the other friends, we can't give you more. Even though this food delivery person tried, he was under the threat of this fat guy. In the end, he had to give him more. Oh my god. Looking at the meat, he wanted more than rice. This guy even boasted to his friend. I still come here often to eat. If the guys who work here get scared, they'll immediately give me more. It turned out that these two comrades were both minors, with unstable families, so they had to run away from home. They had no money and no place to sleep, so they ate these things and then went to sleep. Dust. This guy said he had to apply to HEA KWANG, and he understood quite clearly that this was a gathering place for street kids. And being hired to do illegal things. Hearing that, the fat guy also seemed quite interested in this place. And boasted, I'm very good at stabbing people. Ha ha ha. He also doesn't want to live like this forever. Maybe it's better to just find someone who stabs you randomly and ends up in a reformatory than this. But this fat guy's nonsense reached the ears of the food delivery person. He walked up behind the fat boy and said, I'm not feeding you so you can go crazy. Even if you leave home, you still have to live a decent life. When the fat boy heard that, he got angry because he thought this guy dared to raise his voice. Then, taking advantage of his money, the person who distributed this food said without fear, okay. If you want money, follow me. If not, I will call the police to take you home. The fat boy and his friend immediately followed this food delivery person. This guy wants to introduce a job at the church to these two guys. But they don't seem to be very interested. They just need money like the food delivery person promised earlier. This guy said he was also a bushman. So I completely understand what these guys want. After that, he immediately led these two men into the prayer room of the church. Thinking he would get the money, this fat guy promised to live seriously, and then as long as he got the money, he would let someone distribute this stuff. But when he saw the scene in front of him, he fell backwards. Don't think about stabbing someone and then going to a reformatory. Let's live like we're a character we haven't seen in a long time, right guys? That is the name of NEUN's school boss. Previously, he was harassed by DAJUN. These guys are torturing someone inside the prayer room of this church. It turns out that organizing free breakfast for street kids is actually a way for these HEA KWANG guys to recruit new members for the church. Organization. A knife was thrown to the fat man. Just now this guy boasted that he was very good at stabbing people. So HEA KWANG immediately gave him a chance to prove it. By stab the wing of the person in front of me. This is the test to join HEA KWANG. Look at that fat child's hand, clumsy like this. The delivery person knew right away that this guy was just making fun of his mouth. The fat boy was now shaking like a leaf. He held the knife and trembled in front of the injured man. Shaking and saying, "Damn it. I can do it." And immediately afterwards a pitiful howl rang out. Of course, when recruiting people, you also have to look at their faces. This fat guy is truly a butcher. So HEA KWANG has another rookie. What a surprise, guys. When the person delivering this stuff is no one else. It's the person you already know who it is. Leader of HEA KWANG. And is an old friend of CHO HANGIL. His name is Shin Wuzeng. Currently inside the mission room of the church. There are two girls crying like rain begging for someone. This person is the pastor of this church. The ability to be extremely angry. Because these two girls did not listen to the words of a certain store owner. He shouted, "Are you kidding me? Are runaways like you guys also picky about what you choose? Shut up. Then go now." Making these two girls scared and crying even louder. At this moment, a random guy walked in. He squatted and talked to two girls. If you receive one or two nice requests, you will immediately attack someone. If you don't like to work, you have to fight. This girl saw her friend being beaten. So scared. Had to agree to do everything they asked. Surely not a good job. This guy threatened her again and asked her to go to that store to work. Otherwise she will continue to beat her friend. Pastor's name, thank you for resolving the issue with these two girls. For this guy, it was a simple matter, because he knew that for those who just met each other in the bush, everyone is family. After that, this guy went to the meeting room in the church. And now inside. Again, all of HEA KWANG's brains were present here. Turns out this guy is also one of HEA KWANG's big names. His name is Yunhak. And this is big sister Jo Aram. Big brother Seol Gwangheek. Boss No Wool. And the cockroach Moon Sungo. HEA KWANG's second oldest brother, Nam Wonchang. And in the end it couldn't be anyone else. HEA KWANG's leader, big brother Shin Wuzeng, the reason for today's meeting. That is how to handle HANGIL FAM. A week later at the pizza shop. HANGIL FAM farm family with all members has enjoyed a lifetime of pizza. If you don't enjoy this great gift falling from the sky, how can you enjoy it? The entertainer was Inhwan. He became an employee of the store, replacing the cockroach Song Ho, and he thanked everyone for helping handle his father's matter. Shaggy is still quite worried about the HEA KWANGs taking revenge. Holding a pizza in his hand, smoking a coke in his mouth, gurgling red hair and laughing haughtily, he crowed, "It's okay. Those guys are just small fry, if you hit them a few times, they'll leave." Haha. While we were talking excitedly, CHO HANGIL was different from usual. He didn't eat a single slice of pizza. He seemed to be having a very heavy heart. The whole group ate until the afternoon of that day before they invited each other to go home. The redhead also said that next time he would eat Hawaiian pizza. DAJUN immediately teased him as a pig. While walking, my hair was tied and I discovered an automatic photo booth on the side of the road, and came up with the idea of inviting the whole group to take photos there. Because it seems like HANGIL FAM has never taken a photo together. Cho Hangil followed behind with a confide in mind, and was about to refuse to take a photo when her ruffled hair pushed her inside. After a moment of jostling and pushing, in the end, the whole family took a photo together. Then divide one plate for each person. Looking at a photo of his family, Cho Hangil suddenly had a smile he hadn't seen in a long time. It seems like the boss of the HANGIL FAM family is hiding something. That evening when Cho Hangil went out to smoke, Kim Taek immediately followed. It's been a long time since I saw my boss smoking like that, so Kim Taek asked what was going on. Cho Hangil was silent for a moment and suddenly asked, Taek, have we lived together long? It's probably been a few years. Kim Taek replied. Compared to DAJUN, we've been together longer, right? Cho Hangil continued talking. It turns out that 2 hours before the fight at Gangrak's base, Cho Hangil went to a bar. Here he met HEA KWANG's second-ranked big brother. This person's name is Nam Wonchang. This person revealed that the organization has received a request to kill DAJUN and is expected to do it soon. This made the boss of HANGIL FAM extremely surprised. This big brother continued to share that there are currently many opinions in the organization. But HEA KWANG's leader made a special offer, for HANGIL to surrender DAJUN. Then HEA KWANG will no longer touch HANGIL FAM. One is that idiot DAJUN or the members of HANGIL FAM, as the number 2 boss said. This is also the confiding feeling of the boss of HANGIL FAM during this time. When he heard Kim Taek ask, Cho Hangil still hid this story. Is it right to just say that things that last for a long time are more important? This statement without head or tail makes Kim Taek feel confused. After that, Cho Hangil Green brought with him a feeling of confidence that cannot be shared with anyone back. He went back to the rooftop to continue thinking about this, unable to bring this suggestion up. Because surely the rest of the members will help him DAJUN. And if they really fight with HEA KWANG, they will definitely face death. Cho Hangil felt like he should not have gotten involved in DAJUN's affairs. He pulled out a photo he had just taken this afternoon, and suddenly tore off a corner of the photo. It seems like the HANGIL FAM fan has finally made his decision. Don't tell me you'll hand over DAJUN. The next morning at the church, DAJUN's close friend from school had previously come to meet Iltak. That was the name Doyen Lee. He was extremely angry. When I saw that my request to destroy DAJUN was still not completed, even though he already gave the money. Iltak just said that this is not simple, because currently DAJUN is being protected by the HANGIL FAM family, so it is not easy for players to follow DAJUN. This person named Doyen Lee still holds a grudge against DAJUN, because he believes that his disabled leg was caused by this name DAJUN. Right when he was about to ask to meet the leader of the HEA KWANG organization to confront him about this matter, then suddenly there was a rescue axe somewhere. Held it straight in front of him, the second oldest brother. Nam Wonchang appears. Even if the customer has already paid, don't be so arrogant. If that's the case, then I can help you hold DAJUN's hand and go to heaven. Killing DAJUN has been entrusted to us, so there is no need to worry anymore. Doyen Lee, it seems quite scared by the appearance of this person. It seems like HEA KWANG is standing still waiting for Cho Hangil's answer. Living in an abandoned factory. For Hangil, come back here and reminisce about the time when I first met DAJUN. At that time, he was being bullied right here. Haha, that kid was beaten extremely miserably. Then Cho Hangil blamed himself, got involved in this. The next day was the same as always. Tied hair and shaggy hair are still a must. Do housework. As for the boss of the HANGIL FAM family, all he did was lie down and bask in the sun, reading stories. With a bunch of excuses for skipping work. It seems that HANGIL FAM family members are also quite familiar with this. Cho Hangil suddenly asked a question. This GAWNG. What if there is no DAJUN? This question makes both of them extremely confused. Bun Hair says. Then it's really inconvenient, because there's one person missing to fold the socks. It's really sad for DAJUN. The red hair is very upset because today it's DAJUN's turn to wash the dishes. But now the bowl and chopsticks are still intact. DAJUN just smiled innocently and apologized. Because he was late for work today, he left in a bit of a hurry. The redhead continued to grumble about this matter and wouldn't let up. Suddenly, the boss of the HANGIL FAM family came between the two of them. Then go to the bowl and chopsticks wearing gloves and wash them. Before the surprised eyes of the whole family. What happened? The red hair thought that the boss liked DAJUN, and GAYONG thought that the boss was drunk today. DAJUN wants to handle his part. However, the boss of the HANGIL FAM family dismissed it. HANGIL's strange actions raised a big question in the hearts of the younger siblings. GAYONG thinks, boss is nervous, so today he bought quite a lot of meat for the party. But the boss of the HANGIL FAM family left somewhere. During meals, GAYONG is the only female member in the family, so she is quite sensitive. Realized that the boss was acting like he was making amends with DAJUN. Kim Taek also remembers HANGIL's strange sayings. Red hair thinks so. Everyone followed the boss. It's been a while, so you should know. He is a careful person in everything. So don't worry too much. It turns out right now, the old man of HANGIL FAM decided to go to church. This seems to be the lair of the HEA KWANGs here. It's been 5 years since HANGIL left this place. This is where a relationship began. Returning to residence, DAJUN is still worried. Because today HANGIL still hasn't returned. He went to the front of the house. Suddenly I discovered a small piece of paper. Curiously, I picked it up and realized that it was HANGIL's picture. It was probably torn from the photo taken together. At the same time at the church, inside, the HEA KWANGs are already waiting here. Perhaps they are waiting for an answer from the boss of HANGIL FAM. HANGIL says, there will be no choice. One of the two demands of the HEA KWANGs. Perhaps you have already guessed it. The leader of the HANGIL FAM family sacrificed himself, in exchange for the safety of my juniors. Today HANGIL will single-handedly take on this entire organization. Everyone, please prepare yourself a comfortable seat and an ear of corn to cheer. Call your leader here. HANGIL coldly said. This big brother smirked, and ordered his juniors to rush forward to welcome HEA KWANG's old seniors kindly. At this time, at home, when DAJUN picked up a corner of a photo with a picture of HANGIL, he was extremely surprised. Immediately returned to inform everyone. DAJUN feels extremely insecure because of this. However, no one could guess what was going on. So it can't be helped. At this time, the battle at the church had already broken out. Fully armed juniors rushed forward. In this group, there is a backup big brother. And the kind of calf that is not afraid of tigers. Want to try with HANGIL. It's true that a master should let his neck hang low. Let HANGIL perform one move. Dragonfly treads water. Stepping on the shoulders of juniors. He flew towards the calf with his bare hands and took a kick, extremely surprised, causing this guy to collapse on the spot. The juniors couldn't believe what they just saw. Did you see it fly just now? However, we were still not afraid to rush to death because we believed in our overwhelming numbers. Leaving behind a trail of afterimages. HANGIL kept adding more guys. Count the numbers on the board. Before the surprised eyes of HEA KWANG juniors. No one dared to go any further. At this time, HEA KWANG's second oldest brother showed his face. The juniors saw a big brother standing up, began to rush forward again to fight. But the result has not changed at all. This gentleness avoids the big brother's attack, and took advantage of dealing with the juniors very easily. When for HANGIL, asked the HEA KWANG leader to come forward. Then this big brother's name, intentionally exposed his chin. Just a little distraction. The boss of the HANGIL FAM family was immediately attacked by another HEA KWANG big brother, and right after that all the big guys, as well as the name. The leader of this organization has appeared. With such a big battle like this, how can I let HANGIL play? The opening is a verbal exchange of moves between the two leaders. Shin Wuzong said, HANGIL's decision killed him along with the entire HANGIL FAM family. Seeing his old friend again, HANGIL was extremely disappointed and said, have you finally become like that? This leader just smirked and replied, don't mistake for HANGIL. This is who I am. Without much nonsense, Shin Wuzong immediately ordered the big brothers to rush forward. Some people punch, some people kick and their eyes roll. HANGIL can only temporarily defend. His eyes looked extremely lost. When he saw his best friend completely covered in darkness. Shin Wuzong. Is the old you dead? HANGIL was engulfed in the stormy attacks of the big guys. CHO HANGIL finally decided to counterattack. Grab the fat boss. CHO HANGIL said, Shin Wuzong. You won't stop, right? Then immediately. Fuck this fat guy. Today, if it weren't for you. Then it's me. One of them will have to die to end this. DAJUN is not at ease about the situation of the eldest brother of the HANGIL FAM family at this time. So I went everywhere, which he often comes to look for, but still don't see it. Seeing the brick I held before, DAJUN suddenly remembered the first time he met CHO HANGIL grin here. He seems very happy, and thought that the boss was probably just going out somewhere. When DAJUN decided to go for a walk, then we'll return to sleep. Suddenly he heard someone shouting. Returning to the church, the fat guy had already measured the floor. CHO HANGIL, please bring the next guy up. The HEA KWANG leader just smirked and said, the organization has changed a lot since you left, and I will show my juniors their loyalty. Then the leader called out the big fat guy's name again. Please wake up. If you don't want to die. Hearing that, this guy turned from his grave and immediately came back to life. Not only that, but all the juniors was taken down by CHO HANGIL earlier, was also threatened by this leader. After that, the whole team couldn't continue pretending to be dead anymore. The whole group frantically rushed to attack CHO HANGIL. And this time their attitude was completely different. It reeked of murderous intent, completely different from before. It seems that during the time CHO HANGIL left, this leader used many types of brutal tricks on his own subordinates. Remember that day of friendship between the two of you? What a lovely love. Living under one roof. But that's just a story in the past. Today we both face each other, you live, I die. It's so heartbreaking. Return to DAJUN. The devil somehow caused him to wander to the church area. On the other side of the street, the church pastor was chasing a girl. This girl must be the same girl that we forced to come to the store before. When you see something wrong, come out and help. Oh no. This is extremely reputable support, guys. A quality trip, causing this pastor to literally fall on his face. DAJUN smiled innocently and apologized to this guy. It seemed like the girl could escape, but she didn't expect it. We set up a Jia Vong hammock. These two juniors blocked the way and immediately caught the girl. When DAJUN was wondering whether to make salad for these two, then suddenly got hit by this HEA KWANG's big brother. He warned DAJUN that if he had nothing to do with this, he would get out as soon as possible. The other pastor thanked him. This big brother said he must have taken advantage of CHO HANGIL's arrival to escape. Hearing the name of his boss, CHO HANGIL was startled and his eyes widened. While this guy was continuing to compose the girl for running away, DAJUN walked over and patted this guy's shoulder and said coldly, "What did you just say CHO HANGIL for?" Returning to CHO HANGIL, at this time he was surrounded by the big brothers and juniors. Realized there was a group of juniors holding sticks rushing from behind. CHO HANGIL immediately grabbed one and used him as his weapon. This guy bumped into the other guy. Runny nose and mucus flowing profusely. This fat boss seems like very afraid that his leader would find him unable to do his job. Immediately risked his life and rushed forward to hug CHO HANGIL tightly. Use your body to support yourself so your younger brother can hook up the tire. And this fat juvenile. Yet, he held the knife and pierced it in one go. This sneak attack was really painful. The boss of HANGIL FAM must immediately strike an extremely strong blow to end the siege of this boss. Then, with his bare hands, he kicked this unruly thief away. The knife was stabbed in the upper thigh, probably greatly affecting HANGIL's movement. The boss of the HANGIL FAM family criticizes the leader of HEA KWANG for using even minors as butchers like that. This leader just smirked. For him, to achieve his goal, there will be no tricks. As long as there is money, the organization will do anything, and he is proud of that. Furthermore, he didn't forget to thank his friend. Thanks to you, I am where I am today. This statement made CHO HANGIL feel extremely lost again. Old stories suddenly came back, 5 years ago, when the current leader of HEA KWANG was still an idiot. Before, he often went to church and pray that someone will save me from a life like hell. And God heard his prayers. CHO HANGIL appeared to deal with all the thugs, and even invited him to eat rice cakes. If you have nowhere to go, then live with me. This is where this relationship begins. And it became the regret of the boss of the HANGIL FAM family, when he led this person back to his uncle's residence. This leader just smirked and promised to send Cho Hangil to you. Who is the uncle here? Then you will understand in a little while. Cho Hangil was extremely angry because of this kind of ungrateful person, immediately rushed over. But a sharp pain came from my right leg, distracting Cho Hangil, and was immediately hit by a kick from the cockroach boss. This guy rushed forward, punched and kicked, and crowed. Why don't you act strong like when we fought in the parking garage? Because of this troublesome leg, Cho Hangil had to temporarily defend. Suddenly, a boss from behind rushed in and locked his shoulder, creating an opportunity for the cockroach's boss to unleash an extremely powerful kick. Even if I have to die here today, the boss of HANGIL FAM also wants to solve this problem completely. Even if I die, I have to drag that ungrateful Shin Wuzhen with me, let HANGIL run away to stretch the enemy's formation. Standard song, then it will be hit and run. Gradually eliminate their forces. Continuously extremely precise kite flying. The juniors were continuously evaporated. Go up to the board and count the numbers, punch like this. You've already won a few penalties, right guys? But the juniors were still not afraid. Sell your blood and rush forward. I'd rather be beaten than face their deadly leader. Cho Hangil was now cornered by a closed door. From the juniors, he rushed in and used a stick to beat him, to the point where the door lock was opened. Inside this room, there was an injured girl lying on the ground asking for help. It seemed like this girl had been beaten up quite a bit. Her mind is already blurred, she keeps babbling about a certain scary store, and then she doesn't need money anymore, please save me. The leader HEA KWANG, along with his subordinates, slowly walked in from outside the door. He advised Cho Hangil to stop running away, and left a last word, go away. Suddenly this girl woke up and hugged the leader's hand to beg. He just coldly looked at and criticized the subordinates who should have filtered out the useless ones. Then he stabbed this girl once. Seeing this scene Cho Hangil became even angrier. It was just a child, but this guy still took action without any hesitation. Throw the knife to his subordinate. Shin Wuzhen sarcastically mocked Cho Hangil, it would be impossible to save his younger siblings just like this girl. Got stabbed in the stomach like this. Perhaps this girl will not be able to live. If not treated promptly, tell Hangil that this girl will die from losing too much blood. In his mind, he was thinking, is there a way to take this girl to the emergency room? In this extremely difficult situation, Cho Hangil thought about it again. His uncle returned to DAJUN. He patted his shoulder and asked for information. This big brother immediately became angry. Attack DAJUN. He was extremely angry because he was questioned in such a loud voice by a boy. Unleash a series of moves. However, our DAJUN is really a one-to-one solo. Already too hard. This boss's name. Can't get any comfort. Cannot suppress the opponent. This big brother turned to ask why DAJUN was curious about this. And the answer he received, of course I have to find my brother. This big brother also did not expect that. I bumped into a member of HANGIL FAM here. He was extremely pleased and said to DAJUN, I choose your Hangil. Are being chased. DAJUN was extremely shocked and this big brother also revealed that Cho Hangil rushed straight into HEA KWANG's headquarters alone. Knowing this, DAJUN felt extremely confused. That big brother is still making nonsense about Cho Hangil not listening to their suggestions, and is that guy giving up like that? DAJUN unconsciously attacked this big brother. It seems that this super attack on the big brother's psychology has been effective. DAJUN continuously revealed loopholes. But no. Dare to touch his relatives. That's a risk. DAJUN fights in an extremely rude way. And crazy. Because he just wanted to run away. To find for HANGIL only. DAJUN felt extremely confused. Why did HANGIL have to go find HEA KWANG? And fight alone like that? Return to the battle in the church. Even though the leg is injured. However, dealing with the juniors is still a very simple task for the boss of the HANGIL FAM family. Even this pink-haired big brother can only hold his hatred and sit and rest. But if it continues any longer, I'm afraid it will be difficult for this girl to survive. This leader had his hands in his pockets. And started talking, what are you doing for HANGIL? You said you would kill me. Why don't you do it? This name also seems to have been observantly recognized. Cho Hangil wants to save this little girl. And he taunted Cho Hangil and said, do you want to become like him? Like a cat that wants to take care of other wildcats. He is extremely poisonous. Ordered his juniors not to attack HANGIL anymore. But keep making salad, girl. Previously, the boss of the HANGIL FAM family also had an unhappy past. When he was 14 years old, loneliness was the thing he felt the most. From the time he was born, his parents abandoned him when he was 5 years old, and lives at an orphanage. In class, he was also bullied by his friends. Exactly like DAJUN before. However, the difference is that they are bullies. It's the same people who were made salad, ha, ha. Even though I really want to be at peace, troubles don't stop coming. Even though he was very lonely, he still worked hard to live. The boss of the HANGIL FAM family is truly worthy of being a senior. Life still has many things worth living. Unlike DAJUN, because of being bullied, he immediately thought about ending his life. One day, while he was wandering on the street, HANGIL suddenly met a very strange man. He flicked his forehead and lectured him about the dangers of cigarette smoke to his health. His name is Manhwa, he is the owner of an iron shop. HANGIL was angry because he bumped into this crazy guy out of nowhere. After that, this guy actually stole HANGIL's cigarette. It must have been very difficult to manage it. For daring to smoke in front of his shop. The two of them just stood in front of the store like that. This uncle was very carefree while smoking and talking to HANGIL. He said, "A child walking in the bush will know right away when he sees it. Look at his face, he looks like he's about to die." This extremely thoughtful conversation made HANGIL angrily leave without saying goodbye to his cigarette. This uncle actually called after him, asking if HANGIL had a place to eat and stay. "If you don't want to freeze to death, come follow me." It turns out that this uncle owns an iron shop and also takes in homeless children. When these children saw HANGIL, they were extremely happy. The uncle suggested that HANGIL should live here temporarily. However, he really felt unfamiliar with this warm family life. His suspicion of others since childhood made him distrust this kind man. After that, HANGIL no longer went to that iron shop, and continued his difficult life as a wanderer. And finally HANGIL was in real trouble, with the gang that ruled that street. These guys are extremely dangerous people. Suddenly he had the thought, if they took action, would he be able to escape this tiring life? He provoked these two thugs. And sure enough, a month of dog blood among them took action. But suddenly, the shopkeeper will appear. Using his bare hand to catch the knife, he said, "You guys are so big, but you bully a kid." He tried to teach these thugs a lesson, and then was beaten miserably. When he saw that this uncle was injured, he showed concern and asked about him. "This for HANGIL. Why do you mess with thugs like that? Do you really want to die like that?" That was the first time HANGIL saw someone shed tears because of him. Don't do that anymore, you know. That was the first time after leaving home that he felt happy. From that moment on, HANGIL immediately followed this uncle. And see this man as his father. He no longer lives the tiring life of running away from home like before. The uncle shared that, in the past, I also went bush. So he loves children who are in the same situation. He truly understands their feelings of loneliness and fatigue. Luckily, he also received a lot of help so he no longer felt lonely. No matter how harsh this life is, if there is someone on your side, you must try to live. So HANGIL, don't think you're alone anymore. I'm always on your side, believe me. Remember this man who gave birth to HANGIL, a HANGIL FAM elder full of love and responsibility like today. I know she's in a lot of pain, but please bear with it a little. Because of a wandering life like ours, there will be days like that, but don't worry, as long as someone is on your side, it's okay. I will protect you now. Trust me. Hearing that, the ungrateful leader laughed contemptuously. He despises that kind of love, and thinks that these soft thoughts are the most dangerous things at the bottom of this society. Lives under the roof of the iron shop owner. HANGIL has learned what is most important. That's why I will follow his path. HANGIL said. Annoyed by this way of life, this ungrateful leader gives orders to his subordinates. It must be resolved within 5 minutes for HANGIL, otherwise we will be killed. Under the threat of his own seniors, the juniors rushed forward like a group of moths. Jo Hangil was extremely exhausted at this time. My arms and legs feel like I can't lift them anymore. At this moment, an incident happened. The whole room suddenly fell into darkness. The juniors were also surprised and did not understand what had happened. Then he took a punch every day. Cho Hangil also didn't know what was going on. However, it is really lucky in a situation like this. A hand was placed on the shoulder of the boss of the HANGIL FAM family. DAJUN appeared. Jo Hangil was extremely surprised by the appearance of his youngest brother. A few minutes ago DAJUN was still fighting hard with this big brother. Because to save as much time as possible, he threw a handful of dirt into this guy's face. After that, rush in to defeat the juniors and rescue this girl. I was so scared that I hid and witnessed the whole thing. Then this girl wanted to save her friend. So I told DAJUN about this church. As soon as he sneaked in here, he saw his boss facing a bunch of juniors. To protect that girl, quickly cut the circuit breaker. Then DAJUN quickly sneaked in. Seeing that DAJUN appeared, the boss of HANGIL FAM fell into deep thought. Is this a coincidence? When that ungrateful leader also used bricks and was beaten just like my youngest brother. And then Jo Hangil also stood up to help him. Different in that, DAJUN was not invited to eat tteokbokki, but also have to invite Jo Hangil to eat noodles. After that, this leader was led back to the iron shop, and was immediately adopted by his uncle without thinking. And the name of this iron shop is HEA KWANG Scrap Metal. Life in that shop is still as happy as ever. Because they were the same age, the two of them got along quite quickly. It was a real friendship between runaway children. During those happy days, this guy suddenly talked about wanting revenge, and asked Cho Hangil to teach him how to fight. How could he refuse a request from a friend? Cho Hangil also taught this guy how to fight, just like he did with DAJUN. And then this guy also took revenge successfully. However, it was also this time of revenge that revealed a part of this guy's humanity. His ruthless nature gives him great satisfaction in trampling on the corpses of his enemies. He started going out to fight to get the number. And even formed a group, then went everywhere to collect more members. It was as if he had found a purpose in life. His violent actions became more and more out of control. After the uncle found out about this, he scolded this guy, but it seemed like he was very upset about this, just like that. Life at the butcher's shop gradually fell apart. Until one day an accident happened. The store next to HEA KWANG caught fire. The mafia turned this place into a sea of fire, just because you refused to pay protection money, and had to pay with his life, for protecting the children until the very end. Those were the last words that my uncle told me. That day was the worst day in Cho Hangil's life. When I lost my uncle, with the kids, he lost his family, once again lost his purpose in life, and continued to exist like that. Until one day, Woozung made the decision to protect runaway children, just like his uncle did. After uncle passed away, it seemed that this Woozung also returned to his old self. Just like that, they inherited his unfinished wish, and founded HEA KWANG. They created cellars where street children could live. And to make sure that no one was like you, the two of you took on the mafia in the area. Fighting the East to defeat the North, it was unstoppable, until one day the truth broke out. One mafia guy who was brutally beaten confessed that it was Shin Woozung who entrusted them with the burning of the iron shop. This mafia name's words were like a thunderbolt hitting Cho Hangil's heart. Hangil immediately returned to meet Woozung. Pour out all your disappointment and loss on your best friend. All for just one word of money. It was because the uncle wanted to educate this guy that he stopped him from making money. That's the reason why he hired these mafia guys to burn down the store. Unbelievable for such a reason. In a fit of rage, Cho Hangil decided to gradually make his friend look bad. But I didn't expect that some of my juniors would stop me. The truth is that concubines, even these juniors, always do hidden things behind Hangil's back for money, under the command of Shin Woozung. At this time, he smirked and said, "So to be able to survive, money is the most important thing." This guy deliberately took advantage of Cho Hangil to eliminate the mafia in the area, allowing him and his juniors to take power here. Everything is lost. That happy house is no longer there, nor is there no longer the newly built ideal. That day Cho Hangil left HEA KWANG, walking slowly on the street, extremely lonely. Returning to reality, after a moment of being immersed in the past, DAJUN gently reminded his boss, "Both of you, quickly escape. With his uncle's ideals and life goals. John told DAJUN, quickly save this girl. He'll hold off the HEA KWANG here. Although DAJUN really wanted to stay, but the boss forced him to go. With this girl's condition, it really can't last much longer. DAJUN decided to quickly take this girl away, then return to save the boss. A junior found a flashlight, when he turned it on. Then suddenly discovered the girl was being carried away by someone. As he was about to chase, he immediately received a kick from CHO HANGIL. DAJUN. Please continue to save people. Please don't become like Shin Wuzong. DAJUN. It's best for you to get along with the others. It seems CHO HANGIL doesn't want his story. We'll repeat again for the HANGIL FAM family. See you later. At this moment, Imazon feels extremely insecure about CHO HANGIL's last words. Even though I'm very impatient. But he still had to save this girl. DAJUN immediately rushed through the night. Returned inside the church, thanks to the dim light of the flashlights. The big brothers and their juniors began to surround and kill again. HANGIL still persists in fighting. Before the admiring eyes of this degenerate best friend, he recalled the mafia organizations in the area before. However, HEA KWANG was able to become what it is today thanks to his hand in building it. He thought that even without CHO HANGIL, he could still deal with the mafia. Because of talents like this. Although these big guys are outmatched by CHO HANGIL, however, they are actually extremely dangerous. And he is extremely proud of what the organization can own. Dangerous thugs like this. So he thinks that without CHO HANGIL, HEA KWANG will still be strong. Halftime break. CHO HANGIL asked these leaders. Was it planned from now on? This guy admitted that at first his goal was just to take revenge on the people who bullied him. But the moment when he punched the bully's mouth to pieces, then he feels the pleasure of standing above everything. Being a bully has never felt so satisfying. Turns out this is what I've been feeling for a long time. Do the people who often bully enjoy themselves? He wanted to keep such feelings forever in his heart. So I gathered a few bushrangers together, and used them to eliminate those stronger than me. That's when he felt the taste of power. However, it was at this time that his uncle beat him for causing the children to fight. CHO HANGIL and his uncle have become obstacles in the way, on his path to becoming strong. So he did not hesitate to spend a sum of money to entrust the mafia to deal with the things that hindered him. After that his uncle died, he freely used CHO HANGIL to destroy the mafia. And recruited new members. CHO HANGIL himself did not expect that his close friend would play dirty tricks with him like that. Even if he regrets it, it will be too late. Maybe that's why today, the boss of the HANGIL FAM family, even if he gave up his life, had to deal with this guy because he wanted to protect his younger brothers. Use the church as a recruiting place in this area. HEA KWANG is continuously growing, and CHO HANGIL is once again standing in the way. Therefore, this unhinged leader doesn't care about old friendships. Once again ordered his juniors to rush forward. HANGIL is so stingy now, constantly on defense, and was cornered by them inside a warehouse. The exit was surrounded by juniors. There is no longer any way to escape. CHO HANGIL was at the front of the situation. Must surely die. Take an iron pot from the side and throw it there. Then CHO HANGIL took the knife. Gently skewer a big brother. But then he was hit with a pretty heavy blow. Of the fat boss in the back. Was attacked relentlessly. CHO HANGIL immediately performed the 3 steps he learned in the movie. Skewered all these big guys at once, causing them to get injured again. I felt like I didn't have much strength left. The boss of HANGIL FAM uses thanks to encourage generals. Criticize your cowardly ex-friend. You only know how to hide behind a bunch of useless juniors. You beat my team. Isn't it because you are inferior to me? This one sentence made this shameless leader's eyes sting. But this guy still tries to be patient. It seems like he's really jealous of the person who taught him how to fight. Shut your mouth and come up here, you coward. Realized that CHO HANGIL was now running out of oil. This leader decided to go into battle and let his subordinates fall back. Once again, he will strike to destroy everything that stands in his way. Seeing that this guy has already gone to war. The old man of HANGIL FAM took out a cigarette. From the beginning, this matter can only be resolved between the two of you. Is that right? The insolent leader showed that he was very kind, because he did not take HANGIL's life the day he left HEA KWANG. Cho Hangil just smiled, it didn't matter to him because he had nothing to regret anymore. Take a strong drag of the cigarette, let Hangil shrink his arms. Flick the medicine vigorously. Before the surprised eyes of the unhinged leader, the fire immediately broke out. It turned out right from the beginning Cho Hangil discovered that there were many gas tanks in this room. So he planned to provoke the general, and then blow the fire. Resolve this unhappy relationship. Inside these flames full of grace. If it had started with fire, then use fire to end it. Pick up the knife. Bastard. I will do it all day and HEA KWANGs will go to hell with me.